coming right there.
All right, hey guys, I'm hoping that you guys can all see me. I just got back in town trying to set everything up, and so this is the part where I say, can you hear me now? So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay. I think so. Anyways, let me know. Put it in the chat window if you guys can hear me. And let's see, I'm going to slide that window over there. I just got a text from Steve Holland. Steve Holland is actually on his way, which is awesome, right? We love having Steve Holland come to visit. So I just got a text, I'll get better. He wanted me to load some pictures on the computer so I could then click on them so that he could show you these hogs that they shot in a hog hunt, which would be awesome if he didn't send them like literally 3 minutes before the live stream. So how about no, Steve? Next time we'll do it. Everybody says they can hear me okay, 5x5. All right, cool. Hey, you see right here, I got Euro Optic to be our sponsor tonight. That's cool. They've sponsored us before. We appreciate them doing it. Cool part about Euro Optics is literally, there's something that bugs me a lot about a lot of these gun companies that sell shit on the internet is I go to buy, let's say I go buy that holster. It says it's in stock. I put it in my cart for checkout, and then I find out after I've already paid that it is on back order. You don't get that at Euro Optic. And seriously, their inventory is real time. So anything that's listed as in stock is no shit in stock. And it's gonna, no drop shipping games, no none of that crap. Man, that shit just pisses me off, They do their red shipping offers 1 and 2 day, blah, 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 no extra charge. Anyways, they got the stuff, they ship it fast, and it gets there fast, right? So good stuff. The other cool part is like all of their sales staff are locals, they're all Americans, so you don't have to worry about pushing one for English and you wind up talking to some guy in Pakistan. Been there, done that. All their sales staff are shooters, hunters, outdoorsmen, all that stuff. So anyways, they got other programs for law enforcement, military, outfit guys, blah, blah, blah. Go check out their website. Check it out, eurooptic.com. Great company, and we appreciate them supporting us. I see Heather Flyfish is already throwing down a $20 super chat. That's awesome. Here's the deal. If you guys have questions, that's the whole point of a live stream, right? Besides watching Steve Holland and me do jackassery, the whole point of doing a Mayday Monday live stream is for us to be able to interact with you guys. If you have questions, stuff like that. No, don't be asking, is a hot dog a sandwich? Okay, don't do that. But you got questions, put them in the chat window. If you want to do super chat, you can help me put my daughter through college. She has a week left. She actually graduates Saturday, believe it or not. My daughter is getting her degree from UK nursing program, and I think she's going to go on and be either a nurse practitioner or a doctor. We'll see. But I'm very proud of my girl. I am very, very proud of her. 0 college debt. How? Because her dad has 0 money in his pockets. Anyways, you guys have helped me put my daughter through nursing school. I appreciate that. And it looks like we're going to put my daughter through medical school. Great stuff. I'm very, very proud of my girl, and I will support her anything that she does without a doubt. So, good stuff. I just got back in town. I went out and I had all these back-to-back classes, trying to do live streams on the road. I know some of you guys complained that my live streams weren't long enough, and I'm doing them literally from inside of a restaurant because the hotel didn't even have good enough internet. And anyways, it is what it is. I do the best I can. So anyways, I unplugged for a few days. My wife and kids went out of town in one direction, and I loaded up my camper and went off to the Daniel Boone backcountry trail. I met up with a couple other off-road guys, friends of mine. Brought Chad Mormon with me. Chad is, he's the driving instructor down at Tier 1 group, but he also teaches a lot of other stuff. But he's a great navigator to have sitting next to you. And Chad don't want to drive. He's like, no, Carl, you drive. I'll relax. So he needed to unwind and relax. I needed to unwind and relax. The rest of my team, they all needed to unwind and relax. So that's literally what we did. I unplugged, so I apologize. We weren't posting pictures and videos every day. I tried to plug a few the last day. If you guys look on Instagram, Facebook, you'll see a few pictures that we put up. But other than that, I just unplugged. So I come back this morning. I've got 42 emails flagged for follow-up. Okay, so if I owe you an answer about something, or you signed up for a class, or you had questions, whatever it is, guys, I'll get to you. But for right now, if you guys have questions, you do not have to do super chat. You put it into the chat window, and my moderators, right, they're going to keep you guys keeping this chat room PG-13, please. That's all I ask. And then you put your questions in there. My moderators will pull your questions, so long as it's not one that gets asked every Tuesday or once a week. And then they will send it to me. The head mama bear, see right here, Susan Britcher. This is what Susan does. She will then send me pictures of your question. Right off the bat, she sent me the super chat from Heather Flyfishes that just says OP, and it's got a blue hippo that, I have no idea what it is. So anyway, it is. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you. Heather and Phil W. are coming down for High Risk Travel this summer. High Risk Travel, if you're not familiar with it, you can check out all of our courses at our training calendar, tacticalrifleman.com. We've got a bunch of great classes coming up, medical classes with Travis Hall as the primary instructor. I'm one of his assistant instructors. But then we do high-risk travel twice a year, once in August, once in December. We'll be adding high-risk travel 2, high-risk travel 3 to the schedule down the road. But high-risk travel is, the name does not sound sexy. So nobody wants to take it. Everybody wants to do pew-pew. Everybody wants to do pew-pew. Nobody wants to do medical. And nobody wants to do high-risk travel because it's not sexy. Here's where you're missing out. Hands down, this is the most educational class you'll get all year long. We start off, of course, with situational awareness, stuff like that, but then we get into how to travel safely, what to do on an airplane, commercial airliner if there's a hijack, and how to act in a hotel, how to act in restaurants, how to act in a taxi, how to pack your clothes, what hotel floor to pick in a hotel. Little things like, if you want, if possible, you want to choose a hotel room on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th floor. Why not the 1st or 2nd? Well, I'll tell you, because most, statistically speaking, most hotel room robberies happen on the 1st or the 2nd floor, because if you catch them in the act, the robber can go out the window. They can jump from a 2nd-story window. They can't jump from a 3rd or 12th story. So don't be on the bottom 2 levels. Now, why not above the 5th? I appreciate you asking. That's because most fire departments do not have ladder trucks where the ladder can reach windows above the 5th floor. So try to stay between the 3rd and the 5th floor. That's easy, right? Easy stuff. That's one of a million little things you're going to pick up. We do surveillance, counter surveillance. You want to get good at seeing if somebody's pulling surveillance on you, following you. The best way to do that is to learn how to do it. So you actually learn how to do surveillance. We get into terrorist operations. Why? Because the easiest way for you to spot a terrorist act that's being planned is for you to know how to plan a terrorist attack, right? Seeing the guy come up with a suicide vest on is not the time to be stopping a terrorist attack. You need to be stopping it before he puts the vest on. And the best time to do that is when they are doing the surveillance portion of the planning cycle. There is a set cycle. They don't just randomly say, I'm going to put on a vest and go walk into the mall. No, this stuff is all planned out ahead of time. So anyways, we get into terrorist operations. We get into escapology. In case you drop the ball on situational awareness, you get rolled up. how to get out of duct tape versus packing tape. You setup is different for different types of tape. Even if you're blindfolded, they got a bag over your head. Those tapes sound different when they're rolling it off. You do that. Handcuffs, how to defeat handcuffs, how to make handcuff shims, how to pick the double lock or single lock with bobby pins. I'm actually faster with a bobby pin behind my back than I am a real handcuff key because it's too short. It's just little things like that. We'll get into lock picking. There's just all kinds of, there is shooting involved in it. But it's a great course. The medical portion is a whole day now prior. So if you go to either high risk travel course, you can come a day prior and take our whole medical class with it. So it turned it into a 3-day great time. It literally, it is money well spent, guys. You can find high risk travel at our training calendar at tacticalrifleman.com. Whole calendar's up right now. Good stuff. My phone dinged. That tells me that Miss Britcher has got a couple more for me here. Let's see what she's got. From Joe, Texas. Carl, is there an AR pistol grip that records shooting perimeters, etc.? Joe, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a AR pistol grip that's got a wine corkscrew in it. It doesn't matter. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Records shooting perimeters. If you're talking about something like the Mantis, dude, you can literally click the Mantis onto any one of your Picatinny rails. Honest Joe, I don't have any interest in that. So if you're starting a company that does pistol grip shooting parameters, you guys don't even have to offer me one because I'm probably not going to do a review. I'm not bashing you, dude. If you've reached the level in expertise as a grandmaster competitor with your AR rifle and you're trying to tweak it that much and having two shooting instructors standing to your left and right giving you constructive criticism isn't doing it, and you need to have a computer in the pistol grip of your pistol, of your rifle, then by all means, if I was you, I would spend all of my money on it. I would. I'm going to go to Wally World instead. Cash Me Outside. What's your opinion on the Magnum Ruger precision rifles? Was thinking of getting the 338 Lapua Magnum and converting to 300 Norma. Are there better rifles for swapping barrels, cartridges? All right, there are rifles that are designed for you to easily swap barrels, okay? But if you look at the and I love the Ruger Precision Rifle, I do. The fact that they are now offering it in Magnum cartridges is awesome. Why don't you wait a year, and because they're going to come out with a 338 Lapua this year, next year they'll have the 338 Norma, all right, or 300 Norma. Literally, you're going to take a rifle that's not, that you haven't even bought yet, and buy it in one caliber just so you can convert it to another. I would say no. Literally, if that's what your plan is to do, source your barrel first. If you've thought this through, one, do you know of a single company that makes barrels that will fit this brand new Ruger Magnum chassis? Because you understand, a barrel from a Accuracy International is not going to fit that Ruger Magnum. It's just not. It's not. Seriously, no, dude. No. Are there better rifles for swapping? Yes, there are. There are lots of better rifles for swapping. You guys are off to a great start today. Dude, I'm not bashing you. I'm not trying to belittle you at all. I love your thought process. You want an economical rifle. The Ruger Precision is a decent rifle as far as precision at a decent price. It's not like you're going and getting a custom surgeon rifle, or not like you're going to go get an Accuracy International where you're paying for the name, or a Barrett MRAD where you're paying for the name. right? I got that, but understand the Barrett MRAD and the Accuracy International AXMC have earned their spots and are proven 100%. They're awesome, but there are lots of great guns out there, precision rifle wise, that literally you can just buy the action, and it doesn't cost you that much. You can buy the stock, doesn't cost you that much, and then there'll be like 12 different stocks that'll fit that action, and then source the barrel that will fit it. And honestly, I'm not belittling you at all. I understand the thought process, but when you say the word precision, understand those back in the day with the M14 rifles, what you guys call the M1A, to make them into an M21 sniper rifle, literally they couldn't just slap a accurate barrel on it and accurate sights. They literally had to glass bed the wooden stocks, the receiver into the wooden stocks, because wood warps as you change temperatures. It warps that little bit, nothing that you could ever see or feel in your hands, but that little bit of warping doing the temperature changes would throw off the zero of that gun. I want that to sink in. That glass bedding those stocks was a big deal. It was a very, very big deal. And give us some thought. I don't like guys. I want everybody to build their own AR rifle, because that way you know the ins and outs of your gun. It's easier for you to fix problems if you have a mental image of what everything looks like inside the gun. So I encourage everybody to build an AR out of crap parts, but that should not be your go-to AR rifle. Definitely not. Also, I do not recommend people build their own rifles at home. I don't. You need, because what makes a rifle accurate is not just accurate ammo, or not just an accurate barrel, and not just an accurate scope, and not just an accurate monkey, two-legged mammal hooked on the back of it. What makes a rifle, a weapon system accurate is precision, that everything is repeatable, shot after shot after shot after shot. That's where real precision comes from. And precision is what equates to accuracy. Next question is from Luke P. Carl, what did you use during your service to range your long-range targets? Also, what are you using now? Thanks. Back in the day, we didn't have laser rangefinders. We really didn't. So we used mil dot reticles, and later on the TMR reticles, later on the Horus Vision reticle, which is nothing more than a mil grid. But we used the mil dots, and then you use the worm formula. And so what basically, if you knew a steel torso was 39 inches, right? Basically top of the head to the belt buckle, right? You could measure somebody out there, right? But understand, just because all your steel plates are 39 inches, that doesn't necessarily mean all the guys on the battlefield are 39 inches. So what I did was I decided to find what else on the battlefield is out there. Windows are certain heights on a lot of buildings. The bore evacuator on a T-62 tank will always be the same size on a T-62. Now, mind you, the bore evacuator at the end of the barrel on a T-55 tank is a different length. But by knowing those exact measurements and having them written down in my data book, I could then do the basically same thing. Mill it in length, all right? Sideways for that bore evacuator, height for the road wheels or the height of the turret, whatever it is. And then from there, put it in the worm formula, do your math, and it gives you, because it's in so many mils, 1.8 mils in my scope. Worm formula allows me to know that that tank was 360 meters away. And then when the guy would pop his head up out of the turret, you could open up his mind to bigger and better things at 2,600 feet per second. That's using the worm formula with mil.reticle, right, or mil reticle in general. Then we started getting laser rangefinders. The ones that you guys have today, these little itty bitty handheld ones, like I use a SIG, I think it's a SIG 2600, something like that. It's got the applied ballistics computer program in it, so that I have that as a backup over the one that's in my phone, and the backup that's in. Anyways, you guys understand the one that's in my wind meter also. You need to have backups. You do need a backup. So we have good laser rangefinders now. Back in the day, I actually carried a Leopold laser rangefinder, but for the most part, through the whole global war on terror, the laser rangefinder that we use, because the downfall with a lot of these laser rangefinders, even though it says that it is, whether it's a Bushnell 1000 or the Bushnell 2000 or the Leica 1600, that's marketing. It'll give you distance to a target 1600 meters away, but it has to be a reflective target on an overcast day, because if it's too bright outside, that laser has to reflect off the target and then come back to your laser rangefinder. And the laser rangefinder has that other piece of glass that then sees that flash, measuring the time that gives it distance to target. All right. But if it's way too bright outside and your target is not reflective, for example, a t-shirt or the hair on the side of an animal, guys, just because you can laze white steel at 1600 meters, rule of thumb is cut it in half. So if they tell you the laser rangefinder is good for 1600 meters, understand in an operational environment is good for 800 meters. That's still plenty good enough for a SR-25 in the JUF. Plenty good enough. 800 meters is great. But sometimes we need to be able to lays further. So what the military used back in the day was we had what's called a Leica Vector. Now it was originally, it's big monster thing about that big. It actually had 2 eye openings so you could use it for observing, just like a set of binos. Had to buy a tripod mount and everything. And we could mount a PVS-14 on the back of it also, so you could use it at night. But it was made for, you could use it for sniping, but it was also made for indirect fire. So literally you could be on one mountain, literally in Afghanistan, and there could be a tank on the other mountain. And if you ran you could literally laze this thing, and it could be 20 kilometers, 20,762 meters away, and the Leica Vector would literally give you an accurate distance. That's how strong the laser was. Yeah, if there were bad guys out there on the other side of the DMZ, you could laze them in the eyes and blind them. Yeah. I've never done that. Never done that. But let's just say iSafe, it is not. Now, the cool part though is if you ever seen the military GPSs, what we call the plugger. The plugger is a monster GPS. Now the reason for that is it's got all the crypto, so in case they throw the switch and they encode all of the GPS satellites, in which case all of you guys driving with your GPSs are screwed. You notice they never did it because we've come to rely on it too much. That and because the Chinese have so many of their own satellites up now. But you could run the cable from your Leica Vector into your military grade GPS, and now when you laze that tank on the other mountain, it gave you the exact 10-digit grid coordinate. Guys, 10-digit grid coordinate is a 1 meter by 1 meter square on the ground. Now, the cool part about that is your Air Force JTAC can then key the mic, talk to that B-52, who is literally so many miles above the clouds, he can't see the planet at all. You don't hear him or nothing. The B-52 is way up there. Talk to him on the radio. You give him the exact 10-digit grid coordinates. The pilot on the B-52, it's not actually the pilot, it's one of the guys sitting behind him. He puts that grid coordinate into one of the bombs, and then they just watch the screen, and there'll be a box on the screen that basically when the plane gets anywhere in that box, the bomb goes, yeah, I could hit it from here. because they're satellite guided bombs. So the bomb just goes, yeah, I could get there from here. I could. And then all they do is they let you know, releasing now, time to impact, 140 seconds, however long it is. They release the bomb. The JTAC then down on the ground will say, all right, incoming in so many seconds. Well, so the guys can keep shooting, doing whatever if they're in contact. But then when they're like 10 seconds out from that bomb arriving, everybody gets down. And the cool part was the Afghanis would see the SF guys with this little handheld thing pointing at the tank over there. And then all of a sudden, the tank would magically just blow up. And they just thought it was the coolest that the SF guys have this laser that kills tanks. And they had no idea it was a B-52 miles and miles above them dropping satellite guided bombs. So anyways, it works good, works decent. Fast forward to today. There are smaller laser rangefinders. They've gotten much smaller. They have. They've got some that you can mount directly onto the gun. Now, I caution people on this because it looks sexy. It looks sexy. And understand the next generation of optics will be smart optics, in which case you won't have a grid in there. You'll have a dot. You'll put it, it'll be red. You will take up that first stage on the trigger, and that basically will laze the target, will take in environmental conditions, and then it will move your dot to where it needs to be. And when you're on it, it will turn green. You can release the bullet. Smart optics. All right. So they're getting in that direction. The problem with mounting here's your scope on your gun, using this as an example. The problem with you mounting that laser rangefinder onto your scope is it's not looking through this. It's not. So you basically have to call it culminating. You have to make sure that this thing is looking at the exact same thing that your scope is, and understand bumping it at all. You throw off that zero, even off just a little bit. How do you know? How do you double check it? So I caution people about using the weapon-mounted laser rangefinders. I know they look cool. It's the sexy stuff that all the military is doing right now. But also understand there's a lot of testing going on with the military, and there's lots of great stuff that comes along, and then you'll notice it quietly goes away. And you don't see it anymore, because once it comes in and the military guys realize, this is not what they promised us. It doesn't work that well. A good example of that is the L-can. I'm not a big fan of the L-can at all. I am a big fan of that coffee right there, though. Holy smokes, that is some good stuff right there. All right. I just got a text from Mickey, who I went wheeling with. He is basically, he obviously forgot that I am doing a live stream tonight. All right. Where did I leave off? Let's see. Sorry, Susan, I'm falling behind again. Man, I am long-winded. All right. Next one. Annalise and Kyle sent 10 bones. Can confirm high-risk travel was awesome. I now know exactly what packing tape sounds like while blindfolded. Can't wait for level 2. It's Kyle. Annalise was supposed to take the class. She chickened out. I'm joking. She couldn't get the time off from work. She's awesome. But her hubby attended the class. We did it at the Louisville Armory. This year, it is going to be at the Montgomery County Shooting Complex. It's going to be a great, great time. Yep, Kyle's saying that it was a great course. Why? Because it was. All right, I got Jamie Gaps here. I thought I had Steve Holland coming in. Okay, Pedro F. threw down 10 bones, minus shipping and handling. Steve, been carrying my Glock 19 for 6 years on irons. Now I'm thinking about the Glock MOS or getting a FN 509. Thoughts on red dots on carry pistols, please. Thank you, brother. Love the channel. Steve's not here yet, but what I'll tell you is... I've said this 3-4 years ago, guys, that mark my words, within 5 years, all combat pistols will have red dots on them. When I said this 4 years ago, there's a lot of naysayers that said, well, you can't find the dot. You can't find the dot on a pistol. I got that. However, especially if you're using the Vulcan, it's very easy to find the dot. And just like back in the early 90s when red dot optics first showed up for rifles, some of the first red dot optics showed up, and that was a brand new Green Beret, and everybody said, all the old timers, they're like, no, the hell with that, batteries die, glass breaks, I'm sticking with iron sights. Okay, roger that. I'm the new SF guy. They only gave our team 2 reflex sights. I'll take one of them. And I'll tell you what, I was like, this thing is awesome. Within the next 5 years, everybody's going to have red dots on their carbines. And you know what? Everybody did. It's going to be the same thing with pistols. So if you're considering it on your EDC pistol, my Glock 19 has a, I want to see if that Vulcan's turned on. It has that one right there that's got that green reticle, which makes it very, very easy for you to find that dot, by the way. All right, you can't beat that thing. It's called the Vulcan. It's made by Primary Arms. It's actually made by Holosun exclusively for Primary Arms. They also have an enclosed version, which is on all my work guns. My Glock 45, my Glock 34. Hey, Jamie, you going to come visit? All right, guys, I actually have a guest just walked in. This is my nephew, Jamie Gapp. Bring the chair over, dude. Bring the chair over. Here's the cool part is Jamie is a law enforcement officer. And, I know a lot of you guys support law enforcement, but there's also not everybody does. Not everybody here supports law enforcement. And that's fine and all, but I call you motherfucker to your face. Because are there bad cops out there? Yeah, I mean, I got one in the chair next to me. Right. But it's a tough job, and we're worthless without them. So... yeah, society has got to have law enforcement, and that is the problem with society today, is politicians buy votes by letting people get away with this stuff. So anyways, we wanted to have Jamie come on for a little bit to basically do, what did we call this?
We're going to coffee with a cop.
Coffee with a cop. Yeah, so I'm going to have the coffee.
Right.
And what we're going to do is Jamie and to give you Jamie's background. Law enforcement, former Army, law enforcement guy, SWAT guy, actually got hit by a car chasing a bad guy. Because of that, he's doing rehab and everything, trying to lose a little extra.
Yeah, a little bit. Trying to get like this.
Yeah, okay. But he's now basically a detective that does special squirrely stuff. We're not going to get into that. But what he is he's a guy that's not currently working for a chief of police or a sheriff that is going to chew his ass for talking to you guys. So if you ever want to get straight answers from a cop and where he would have to worry about losing his job, Jamie is going to be able to give you honest answers right now. So door is locked. Tell Steve, go around back. Go around. Steve Holland is here.
So guys, I just wanted to jump in before Steve got here and run it by the live stream that maybe we might, if there's interest.
Yeah. So anyways, you guys let me know. Yeah. All right. He was going to help hold the chair till Steve got here. So here's what I want you to do. If you guys got quick questions for Jamie can hang out for a little bit, but if not, chew on it.
Yeah.
Right, because if I bring Emery here, right, everybody wants to make Jewish jokes and everything, but let's have legitimate questions for Emery, all right? When we have Steve here, all right, I know you guys hate my green brother and all, but come up with legitimate questions for Steve Holland. Now, literally, understand, I will have Jamie back on again in the future, and we can have legitimate questions for a law enforcement officer. Coffee with a cop. Yeah. So chew on it. Yeah. Let's see if I get Susan, find me one question for Jamie before he takes off. Hold on, I got a couple more here. Susan is saying, blah, blah, blah. Carl had a crazy guy who thought I was a cop. confront me and tell me he would F me up if I followed him. How should I have reacted? Smile and then just walk away, dude. Smile and then walk away. And if he doesn't back down, punch him in the throat, gouge out both his eyes, and then literally, while you're taking his chin and bringing it around the back of his head, right before the head snaps, whisper into his ear how you forgive him. All right? You understand? There's just some stuff you shouldn't be asking me. All right? I'm a nice guy, guys. You know this to be true.
I see a couple here.
Yes, Steve. What's up?
Door's locked.
Go the fuck around, Steve. I'm on a live stream. There's 6 doors to this house. Jamie just walked in.
Yeah.
Jamie just walked into the house, Steve. Find a door. Come on, brother. I love you, man. You know I love you. You know I love you. Fuck. Fuck. God bless.
I saw one here. Is Jamie for constitutional carry. Yes, everybody should carry guns.
Of course.
It doesn't matter. It would be cool if you took the class and knew what you do, but I wouldn't want you to do that if I was a cop or not. I just assume everybody's got one. So, yes, definitely for it. So, and then there was one on.
What's
there.
up, Steve?
Why do we like donuts? They're called power rings.
Steve!
They're not donuts.
He called me back.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Hey, front door, Steve.
Front door is unlocked, Steve. The front door is unlocked.
I heard it open. Looks in the head. He made it.
Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. I love Steve. You know I love Steve. But Steve does this just to mess with me. He does this just to mess with me.
And for Carl's continuity, I asked this morning whether he had anybody. He said, call me this afternoon and find out. And I didn't call.
He did not call me.
I was watching a live stream. I was like, oh, no, he's there. So I'll pop in. And then I saw Steve snoring in the driveway. So.
All right.
Looks like he's coming.
Phil W. sent 20 bones. Thanks for developing the TR1. Runs 100% of the time, no matter how dirty. Had to ship my Daniel Defense back because it won't, not even when clean. Great job. All right, Steve, can you hang up the phone? Thank you. All right, Paul Miller. Fuck, my phone locked up again.
Hey, I'm just holding this down for you, baby.
All right. Paul Miller. Carl, what brand of chest rig are you currently running? I don't run a chest rig right now, Paul. I don't. Let me rephrase that. All the chest rigs up in my attic I've got from ATS Tactical Gear or Eagle or Paraclete, depending on what generation they were. But all the chest rigs, my last few chest rigs are all from ATS Tactical Gear. Guys, the cool part about ATS Tactical Gear, one, you can use code TR10, and that's going to save you 10%. But I'm very loyal to ATS Tactical Gear because when anyone from 5th Special Forces Group or anyone from Task Force 160th SOAR, the black helicopters, whenever they needed anything, they could walk in there, and it didn't matter if it was a crew chief or a staff sergeant junior commo guy. If they walked into ATS Tactical Gear and said, I need a pouch to fit this for my kit, they literally would have one of their seamstresses, because they got a whole room, whole sweatshop in the back. Literally, they would have somebody to stop the press and literally make the guy what he needed right then and there on the spot. You go in there, my pouch tore. I got it hooked jumping off of a helicopter. No worries, we'll fix it for you. Would you like it modified in any way? So that's why I'm very loyal to them. But there are millions of chest rigs out there that are awesome. Paul, I love hearing from you, dude. I do. You know I love you. All right, next one. I got a couple here. Guys, I'm just trying to get caught up. Thank you, Susan. FCK YouTube. Any tips on shooting from different positions, angles around a VTEC barricade at distances of 100 yards and under? Yes, I've got a video on it, dude. You can find it in our video archive. I also teach this at every one of our classes, every one of our pistol carbine classes, and then we get into barricades even more in our advanced pistol carbine class. Understand there's no way I can show you techniques on how to shoot around a VTAC barricade without a VTAC barricade here. I can't stand up here and say, envision a VTAC barricade here, because I'm not even allowed to touch one of these guns because YouTube are a bunch of ass clowns, soy boys that literally will shut down this YouTube if I touch my EDC pistol right now. Literally, they are such a bunch of soy boy libtards that they will literally shut down this live stream if I touch a live firearm. So let's not do that. So if you want to see how to shoot around a VTAC barricade, go to YouTube/Tactical Rifleman, go to the search bar and put in barricades, the word, and there'll be a couple of different videos that show up. We cover barricades a lot, like a lot. Did I mention we do it a lot? All right, why is that one not popping up? Okay, I got another one here. Question for a cop. Why are so many police officers mean to nice people? Cops don't wave from their cruisers anymore and are not friendly on the street. Most are gruff and give accusatory looks. Real? That's Heather from Alaska.
Well, that's exactly why I want to do this. You're gonna get.
See, that's why. That's why.
You guys, good point. There are a lot of cops that do that. First thing I'd say is there's a lot of people in every profession have a bad day, right?
Yep.
May not be good. That's fine. We may be under more of a microscope. I think first and foremost, there's being a police officer, and then there's law enforcement. You can always jump between one or the other. There's times to sit people down and shut them up, and then there's times to just get out of your cruiser and know your neighborhood, walk around. And I don't know if they don't teach that a lot anymore, or you're getting a snapshot of the guy at a red light. Maybe he's on 3 calls, he's backed up, he's on his computer, might not have time to wave. And some guys are just assholes. Some guys may not be that guy to wave. I mean, it's just...
I'm here to tell you, I get the exact opposite, Heather, because I hear about all this bad cop stuff on the internet, especially TV. All you see are cops are terrible, cops are terrible, cops are terrible. I go out everywhere, and guys, half the time I don't have none of this on, and I'm driving whatever. I could be driving the crappy dump truck where I look like a white guy selling meth. I could be in literally this outfit wearing, driving my Jeep, whatever, and I wave to them, they wave back. I don't get it, even in the cities. Now, maybe it's because how I present myself, because I know I have a badge in my back pocket. And if they get stupid, I'm just going to smile and let them be real stupid till they find the badge in my back pocket. And then, but like my son, for example, my son hates cops. He hates cops because my son is 6'5". He looks like a high school kid. He looks like a college kid. And when he's out on the beach at the Hangout Fest in Gulf Shores, Alabama, where everybody is drinking alcohol, which, by the way, they're not allowed to have glass on the beach, and everybody is smoking dope. The clouds are so thick you can't see the bands, and everybody's doing all these other drugs. The cops are walking around, and when you look at the cop with like, the cop has a job he has to do. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to. So the cops have got to play it safe. And they can't, oh, hey, please empty your pockets. No, man, fuck you. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You don't want to empty your pockets? Okay. No, turn around, put your hands behind your back. Well, I didn't do anything wrong. You understand? He can only say please so many times, all right? So I educate my son to understand they have a bad job. They literally have got to play it safe. You understand? Every time they get out of a cruiser at a traffic stop, literally, they might be getting ready to die. Literally, they might be. And then you all forget that. You're just pissed off because you were going, oh, I don't know, 10, or in my case, 45 miles an hour over the speed limit, and you're pissed off that you got caught. Okay, you don't want this ticket. You've only got 3 points left on your license. I got that. You're having a bad day, but he is still seconds away from the end of his life, and it sucks to be him. but he has volunteered to do this job. So anyway, Jamie, you've heard me say it. Thank you for your service, all your buddies. I thank them all the time. And Heather, I'm sorry if you have had a bad experience with law enforcement. But Heather, we've met each other, and you look like a gangbanger. You look like a thug. You literally look like you ride a Harley, drive around, and just beat up cops for no reason. Heather is like this big,
Right.
blonde hair. She's just the cutest little. She's Heather. She's not a threat to anybody. So Heather, I want rough cops around you. I do, because they're the only thing keeping the predators, besides Phil. Phil's keeping the predators away from you. But
that being said, good question. You know, these are the things that we want to get into and try out. Steve, you ready to go, buddy?
there's another one for you, Steve. They got questions
I'm
for
gonna
a
take
cop
over
here.
your show, bud.
Literally
I snuck in there.
Literally the only question for a cop so far is, what is his favorite donut?
Oh my gosh. One, I've never had a donut in uniform. It's a power ring. First of all, it's not a donut, okay? You don't, a power ring, all right? You know, hey.
I was on a Halo team, so we had donuts all the time.
You can't tell by looking at me.
I
love donuts, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not dumb enough to ever eat one in uniform. That's you don't do that. But what's my, I don't know. A free donut, I guess, like beer, free beer.
Here's a legitimate one, though.
All right, what's up?
This is from Luke P. Hey, Carl, I'm moving across country with my guns and ammo. Can you ask your guests what to avoid during travel to stay away from trouble?
Yeah, avoid drugs, anything that would be illegal with the guns. Bro, it's America. Check the local laws each state. But honestly, if you're doing right and you're within your carry, whatever it is, whatever you have, you're not going to get messed with. Now, it's cool to tell the cop. I, for one, like I said, I love that people carry guns. There are times where I will ask, but 9 times out of 10, we just assume everybody's got one anyway. So it's your right to carry.
Can I add just a little bit to that?
Yeah.
All right. You have your constitutional right to interstate travel. You do. You don't have to have papers to go from state to state. Part of that right to interstate travel allows you to travel literally from place to place. So let's say you're going to be passing through a state that does not allow you to have that particular type of firearm in that state. All right. So long as you have it in a locked gun case with no ammo with it, have your ammo separate. But if the firearm is locked up and you are on an interstate highway, or you just got off, like let's say to get gas or get a hotel room, but you just tell them literally, I'm going to another state where you can have it, you will win in court every time. And the reality is, shy of them saying, they're not going to stop you for a weapon charge. If they stop you, it's because they have reason to believe, and they might be doing drug interdiction, illegal alien smuggling, stuff like that. You'd be surprised. You get stopped all up and down Oklahoma, and anywhere coming out of Texas. They're looking to see if you've got 500 migrants in the back of your Suburban, right? If you're coming out of Colorado or you have Colorado tags, they are looking for marijuana. When they don't have it, understand if they find something else, just have your ducks in a row. So long as you can't go wrong having it locked up in a locked case. The whole thing that some states required you to have the firearm disassembled,
that used to be the way.
Yeah, no, just have it locked up.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You will be fine.
And I tell you what,
just don't be in a black Suburban doing 95 miles an hour and pitting people.
Steve, I'll have you know.
He told you that in confidence.
I have only pitted
in confidence
with my Suburban one guy. The other one with my white Ford Explorer.
I have no knowledge.
Stop right there. Your attorney.
My attorney. All right, in my defense, the first one was a bunch of college punks that were.
Stop right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, they were doing road rage.
I don't know. I want to hear. Do we want to hear? I don't know.
I put them in the ditch because they deserved it. And the other one had a anti-military, anti-Bush bumper stickers all over the back of her car. So I pulled up alongside and I checked the back seat, no car seats.
Nice.
Pulled up, checked the front seat, no car seat. And I rolled back. I made sure the wife was still asleep. I pitted that bitch
I need
off the highway.
I need to step in here right now. It's your turn.
All right,
Yeah.
it's my
Mr.
turn.
Anderson.
All right. There's
I
just
need you to
some
stop
shit
right
I
there.
shouldn't share on the
Two
internet.
words,
right there.
qualified immunity, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Little itty bitty bit
Well,
of blue
it
paint
is
on the
it.
chrome bumper, and it buffed right out.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
All right, Steve.
Go. You guys be good. Carl, good seeing you.
So, guys, Jamie Gap, Officer Gap, is departing the building, but in his place, the legend, Steve Holland. What's up, my ninja? How you doing, dude? What's up? I missed you, dude. I'm gonna slide that mic over there for you. All right.
Miss me?
The cool part, dude, I don't have any coffee for you. I see you found a wine glass.
Yeah, one glass. Little white. Little white.
There ain't a lick of wine in that
no.
motherfucker. I'm sorry,
Stop it,
guys.
man.
They're gonna get on
See,
me.
now you as my attorney.
Uh,
Don't be throwing me out there under the bus, man.
Not doing it.
Tactical Rifleman World. How you doing?
Guys,
How you doing?
we love having Steve on here. Why? Because Steve is awesome. All right, so let the games begin. Let the games begin.
Tactical Rifleman World. What's going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Everybody's good. Everybody's safe. Everybody made it through Monday. You're home
Yep.
with your family. You're home with your dog, or you're home with, I don't know, whatever you're home with.
All right.
And
that was Heather Flyfishes. I'm trying to get another.
Heather
question.
Flyfishes with
Yeah,
the redfish.
All right. So we
I
got
know Heather.
Heather.
Heather
Steve
with the
remembers you.
redfish.
Heather remembers you. Steve remembers you.
Heather drives a Harley?
No,
Or is the other
joking.
Heather?
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
No,
That was-
I'm trying to make her out to be a tough person that the cops are going to mess with. I know.
I'm doing my Stevie. I'm doing my Stevie. Stevie Wonder.
You can't pull off Stevie Wonder. You
I'm
can't,
pulling it off,
Steve.
man.
No, Steve, you
Stop hating.
are a steely-eyed
Stop hating.
killer.
Stop hating. No, I'm not, man. I'm not.
Killer.
I'm not. I don't do those kind of things.
Nope, not anymore. We don't do it. I'm a lover, not a fighter, so it's all good. It's all good. So, anyways, we had us a great week. I did. Steve, we had you back here last Tuesday, right after I got home from that class. We had a good live stream.
We did have a great live
We had a
stream.
great live stream.
Miss Heather
Yep.
working the fly
like that.
fishing
Yep,
rod
just
with
like that.
with the Jay Johnson bird in the freezer.
We're getting
cardinal
feathers from our
bird.
red cardinal. Yep.
Bird in the
To
freezer.
refresh everybody's memory. We even got Steve to do the minigun sound a couple times. Funny stuff.
But not ever
Not
the
not
female
always.
minigun sound. We do not do that on a live stream. We have learned.
Oh. Yeah, in case you guys didn't realize, the last day of May, first day of June, is our Tactical Precision Rifle 101 course. Right? I teach it down in Texas. It's in Texas this year. But it is, I get done with the NRA convention. And I know a lot of you guys don't like the NRA. I don't care. I like any company.
Who doesn't like the NRA?
There's a lot of guys that don't.
Really? Seriously?
They're like Gun Owners of America is better. Okay,
Come see me.
I'm agreeing with you. Gun
If you
Owners
don't-
of
if you don't like the
America
NRA, come
is
see me.
better. But
I'll help you out. I'll change your mind.
I'll take NRA over Antifa any day. So I support Gun Owners of America. I support National Association of Gun Rights. I support the NRA. I support all two-way organizations. So I'm going to the NRA convention, and then I got 1 day to prep for class in Texas. And then Tactical Precision Rifle. I have a bunch of slots left for that class. If you guys are interested, you can sign up at tacticalrifleman.com. Here's the cool part is, I thought you all were going to say Steve's going to be there, but no, but Sue LaRue, who was, me and Sue LaRue were both snipers in our SIF company, and we worked with Steve all the time when he was in Force Mod.
Sue LaRue.
The legendary Sue LaRue he wanted his daughter to come take the class.
LaRue.
Yeah, so he has said,
The legendary deserter from the French Foreign Legion.
So translated, Sue is going to be one of my guest instructors at the course. If you guys want to learn from one of the most unique snipers in the U.S. military.
Wait a minute. Sue's going to be there?
Sue's going to be
I'm
there.
not going to be there?
dude, Sue's already there. I don't got to pay his travel.
I need you guys to protest.
Good luck with that.
The deserter from the French Foreign Legion is going to be there. A deserter from the French Foreign Legion in an American uniform in Europe, just a couple of 100 miles away from the Ukraine, and on an American mission, along with the UN, who happens to have the French Foreign Legion, and they go, LaRue, arrest him. But he's going to be in Texas?
Yep. Yeah, he's going to NRA show.
It's only 3 states in the continental United States. There's Tennessee, Florida, and Texas. Those are only 3 states that matter.
What about Kentucky, man?
What about them?
Why are you dissing Kentucky?
Because they're dissable, man. You can diss them.
Because they're dissable.
Yeah, dissable. It's
Right,
Tennessee, Texas.
I wouldn't
Florida.
really put Tennessee on that list. I like
Tennessee,
I like Florida.
The volunteer state. Well, I got to throw Georgia in, too. We got good redfish. Heather fly fishes with the redfish. Yeah.
Oh, shit, Steve. I missed you, brother.
I missed you too, man. Did you get my redfish? I mean, the Hogzilla picture in there?
No, I didn't. You can read my text, Steve. I literally had just turned this thing on when I got your text.
How can I read your text when I'm outside your door trying to get in and there's a big sign that say no black folks allowed? No black folks allowed.
Hey, Carl, which OLED should I get for my Glock 19? Send me a link when you get a sec. Todd, I'm literally in the middle of a live stream right now. I know.
Todd, welcome to my world. I'm locked outside the door. He's in the middle of a live stream. So believe me, if I can't get him to stand up for a second, say, excuse me, folks, Steve Hollins at the door is locked, then believe me.
Cornelius Dion just texted me to say, Carl, I'm watching live stream. Well, I appreciate it. I would love to have 600 of my patrons all text me and say, Carl, we're watching a live stream. Thank you, Parmelius. You see, when you can't, is that not a cool name? Right? Parmelius. What's it? Tommy, what's the name of the boy sitting next to you in class? My name is Parmelius Dion. All right, look at, guys, you can see that hog's, you didn't shoot that hog, though, did you?
I did not shoot that hog. That's my good friend, Guy Blocker.
I know you see the white spot on it, dude.
See the white spot on it? He took that with, come on now, work with me.
Let me guess, a 6.8?
6.8 carbine. Huh? Guy. Rocking the world.
500-pound hog.
525-pound hog. Look at Guy. Celebrating. Sitting on that Hogzilla with a 6.8 carbine. Huh? I know you're watching, Guy. I know your wonderful wife is saying, hey, come on. He's talking about you. That's awesome. A beast.
Congratulations. That is a monster right there. 500-pound hog. That's pretty crazy.
Look at the tuscuses on that thing. Look at the tuscuses. Can you see the tuscuses? They ain't no.
Let me show you how this works, Steve.
The camera.
See that right there? That's the camera, dude.
Yeah, I'm working on it. See the tuscuses? 6.8 carbine. He sent me the information because you got to know about the build. Rifle was a winter project, 5 years, 2 days, Sofix 6.8 SBC, Vortex, Viper HD 1-6. I guess that's the thermal.
Parmelius.
A Fleur T70 thermal clip-on. Team Windy helmet with Wilcox G24 mount with bridge mount for Fleur. Breech thermal monocular. Gemtech quicksand suppressor. And I think he said he was running a Geisley trigger.
Geisley trigger. N-Ray Godley Cooper threw down 5 bones. Good evening, Uncle Carl and Steve. Love both. Blessings and love to your family. Andre, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Andre.
Andre.
Guys,
if you don't remember, Andre he actually came down to Round Canopy Parachute Team in March, this last March, a few months ago. And I got to have the honor of putting Andre through airborne school. Andre had served in the military, but he was also a firefighter, EMS guy, and he worked the rubble pile in New York City on 9/11 when the towers fell. He actually was one of the guys that worked the rubble
Andre,
pile.
much respect, man.
Yeah, much respect for you, Andre. And anyways, Andre got blown up in Iraq. He's got some TBI injuries and stuff. But I'll tell you what, he fought through everything, all of his previous injuries, and came down. We put him through airborne school. He only got, I want to say he only got one jump, and then he had a previous injury with his knees and stuff. But Andre, you jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. He stayed the whole time. Instead of going home, he stayed and supported everybody else that was jumping. And then he stayed through Operation Sand Snake, where we were jumping out of the World War II airplanes. Andre, he pitched his tent behind my camper. Andre, you're good people, dude. And
that's awesome.
I'm proud to call you a supporter and a member of my TR family. So thank you for your service indeed.
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
That stuff is stuck right there. So my Aunt Helen made beef stew tonight.
Did she really?
Next door, she invited me over. And I'm like, well, what time? She said, it'll be ready about 7. I'm like, got the live stream. She's like,
live stream, can't unlock the door for Steve.
Live stream's on Tuesday.
I definitely can't go get no stew. Not a live stream.
Tuesday.
No.
Like, well, we're doing it on Monday. So anyway, so she threw the cornbread in early. I got over there. And
you ought to eat.
I already ate. It was so good, Steve. I didn't know you were coming, man. I invited you and yesterday.
No,
all you got to do is click reply.
Carl, that was today. It wasn't yesterday. It was today. Anyway.
All you got to do is click reply, dude.
So you're going to go to your phone, right? I'll put this picture back up here. Where we at? There we go. Look at that thing. Huh? If I was hunting something like that at night, I would have called the neighbor farmer and say, hey, man, did one of your calves get through the fence? So walking around, because I don't want to make a mistake and shoot a cow instead of a pig, a hog, Zilla.
Yesterday.
Okay.
By the way, yesterday.
Technology's got me. Technology got me.
It's okay, dude.
You know, and I do that to a lot of people myself. I said, stop what you're saying because I'm going to pull it up on my phone. Stop what you're saying. But
next time, dude, just click and say, I'll try. And then if you make it or not, dude, I'll at least leave the door unlocked for you. But I honestly didn't think you were coming, dude.
Call. You know what? You're right. And I acquiesce to your knowledge and your forthrightness. And I'm going to say, and I admit, you're right, and I will try to do better. Because that's what an SF soldier says. He said, hey,
try to do better.
I try to do better. I'll do better next time.
Yep.
You know?
Don't say you're sorry. Just do better next time. Literally.
Don't say I'm sorry.
Guys will be like, man, I'm sorry I screwed up. Don't be sorry. Just do better next time. You know?
That's
just how we are.
That's like going to somebody's farm or ranch in Gainesville, Florida, and shooting the biggest hog on a property, and they said, man, we were saving that one.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, ooh, that would suck.
I would say 525 pounds. I'm sorry. Where's the butcher? Give me the cell phone number to the butcher.
Oh, that was in Florida?
That was in Gainesville.
Oh shit, dude, that's a
with a 6.8. We're not talking 308 Win Mag or all this other stuff.
Right
300 normal mag, 338 normal mag.
Steve, we just had another one coming.
Everybody with their 6x300 magnification scopes on top of their rifles. It's like, well, why don't you just put a spotting scope on your rifle?
The Gustache 2531 threw down 5 bones. Just wanted to say thank you guys for your service, training tips, and great entertainment. Guys, people make fun of us. They're saying we're having way too much fun here.
Oh, here's a good one. Go back. I'm listening.
That's the same one.
Gustag? No.
It's the same one from the Gustag.
No, but there's one before that.
The one before it was...
The Unray?
Yeah, Unray.
Okay. Guys, I am in no position to request this or ask this or suggest this. And I appreciate you guys sending these in. The goose stash. I got a Randy Worst goose stash going on here. Got the little white frostings on the edge. Like
Sorry,
Randy.
Steve.
Yeah.
That's a nice mustache, but that will never be the Randy Rawhide worst mustache. I mean, he's got 2 hook knives in that thing. He really does. Crazy.
But I appreciate you guys doing the 5 bones and everything else. But the new thing is it's got to be 6.8 bones. Okay, 6.8.
I don't know if they can do that.
What was it? No, the guy did it last time. Remember?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he did.
$6 and
80 cents.
All right. Without further ado, has asked a question. What was Steve's rank? Steve started off as an E1. No, you came in as an E2?
E3.
E3? No shit, dude. I came in as
I was going to college, and a friend of mine whose brother was 82nd Airborne was like, "Hey man, my brother's home. His brother showed up back. This is back in the days of the khakis.
Yeah.
Brother show up in Brunswick, Georgia. You know, small town on the East Coast, down south of Savannah.
I have been there.
Yes, you have. Ahmaud Arbery trial, and he's walking around town in his khakis. He's got his beret all cocked right. He's got his spit shine jump boots with his khakis tucked in with the doggone blouse and things on it.
Yeah.
And the women are going crazy. And his brother's like, "Man, we need to go airborne." I said, "Man, but I'm in college. We need to go airborne."
We need to go airborne.
So me and my 2 Pizos back in those days, we go down to the recruiter station. We go down to the MEP station. We're there for 2 days. And on the 3rd morning, I come outside, taking a break from going through my process of going airborne, and my 2 Pizos are on the damn Trailways bus. And they zip the window open. They go, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "What you guys doing on the bus?" I said, "We're going back to Brunswick." I said, "No, man, we got some other stuff to do." And they're like, "Did you sign some papers?" I said, "Yeah, I signed some papers." It's like, "Oh, damn, dude, we decided we're not going to go." I said, "But your brother airborne and all this other stuff." And they, like a minigun, the Trailways bus went, and there I was by myself. And so, because I was in college, blah, 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 I started off as a private first class.
That's fair. All right, that's fair. But Steve, you retired as a master sergeant, right?
Yeah, retired as a master sergeant. Pissed a lot of people off, too.
No, yeah, because Steve was going to retire as a master sergeant literally when the towers fell. And then, matter of fact, your retirement paperwork was already in, right?
My retirement paperwork was sitting on Colonel Mulholland's desk.
Yes.
If you guys remember
Mulholland.
Lieutenant General, 3 stars. You guys remember the movie 13 Strong, when they showed the Operation 5th Group going in Afghanistan and everything
12
else?
strong.
12 strong. 13 strong would have been Randy worse if the night before the Afghani pony wouldn't have kicked Randy in the face, and Randy had to be medevac to Germany. Yeah. That's why whenever we mention that movie 12 Strong, we always say, out of respect for Randy, 13 Strong.
13 Strong.
Because Randy was the trainer of Mark Lush and all the other guys that went in. Yeah. And Randy was finishing up packing, make sure everybody else's horse was straight. Just made that one momentary mistake, turned toward the pony, and it went kick.
Katow.
Crush. And thankfully, Randy finished his last surgery via the VA about 2 or 3 years ago, and he's finally got everything, that part of it back straightened out. So God bless him.
Yep. All right, so we got a bunch of other ones coming in. The Clever Conquistador. What is the best way to store water underground without
without losing
store water underground with losing out of it over time
from evaporation?
Literally go back and do start with how the old timers used to do it. Google the term cistern, right? Learn how they did it before they had all this modern stuff. But literally, you can go by any farm or agro place, and they've got these big monster plastic tanks that are designed to be above ground, right? To store chemicals for farming. But if you buy one that has never been used to store chemicals, it is actually rated for potable water, right? And those tanks can be put subsurface. Just leave them, the top of them, so that you have access to it. I actually would honestly recommend you store it above ground, because that gives you access to the bottom of it in case you get leaks, stuff like that. But also that you can get access to the bottom plumbing where the drain is going to be. So how do you, let's say you want both, right? I actually have the ability to do that here over by the shed. I have an embankment that goes down to the range that is so steep that I could put several tanks in, basically even with the soil up top, but still have access to the side of them with minimal digging in case I had to service them. But the advantages of being subsurface specifically, besides hiding it, it was like, well, why are you even putting it underground? One, better temperature control, but a big one is protecting it from radiation, right? And guys, understand the odds of you getting blanketed with radioactive fallout, even if somebody was to do a dirty bomb at a major city, the odds of that cloud affecting everybody in the U.S. are, understand the weather pattern. Now, the odds of a nuclear power plant having a meltdown and affecting everybody, no, but look at the weather pattern. So if you are directly downwind from a nuclear power plant or directly downwind from, let's say, a city like, a city that would be considered a major target for Russia or North Korea or China or Iran, then yeah, but understand, shy of living in the Long Island Sound, if they nuke Rhode Island, if they nuke New York City, you can live in Pennsylvania and you're not getting a bit of nuclear fallout. It's all going across the Atlantic into Europe. If they nuke Washington, D.C., you can be in Virginia and you're not getting a drop of nuclear fallout. The weather patterns is going to carry it all out over the Atlantic. So, but that said...
Mumkin, inshallah.
That said...
Mumkin, inshallah.
That said, if you want to plan worst case scenario besides an EMP, which does not bother you with nuclear fallout, if we were to, no joke, go full-blown World War III with China and Russia on the same team, and they got their first strikes in and blanketed all the major cities, and having your water subsurface, there are reasons to do it, but literally, guys, look up cisterns. I want you guys to learn the basic ways that things were done back in the day, because you may not have access to all this stuff ahead of time. And if something does happen, you're going to be, man, I wish I had all this water stored, and I don't. But that doesn't mean give up. Figure out how they did it back then. There's a great set of books called the Foxfire series. If you don't have it in your library, it's on the top shelf.
Must have books.
Yeah, it's on the top shelf at the bottom shelf. It's on the top shelf in my man room, the library in my man room. It's a series of books, and it started off as a college project. This college professor sent people out, and they had to write essays about how all these old people did things, and it became so awesome that they published the first book,
Foxfire.
all their essays. And then from there it grew into a whole series of 12. There's a 13th bonus one. And there's everything in there from blacksmithing and canning and treating meats and all that stuff. But you being stuck behind the power curve, hey, I did not plan ahead of time. I got no idea how to raise chickens. The Foxfire series is a great series of books. It's interesting reading. Understand it's written by college kids, and some of it is repetitive.
Now, I'd like to add just my approach to this about, having access to potable water, having access to...
You better not say I'm just going to Carl's house. I don't want to...
No, I'm not going to say that.
Steve has got a nice setup where he's at.
I'm not going to say... I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is I went and got a county map, okay? And I went online to all these different websites, to all these guys that are talking about survivalism. Oh, I'm going to survive this. I'm going to survive that. And I started marking down 10-digit grid coordinates to their properties. All right? So, do I have potable water stored underground, blah, blah, blah? No, I don't. But I have the 10-digit coordinates to every one of them. Okay?
That's funny when Steve says that, right? He's joking that he's going to go take stuff away from people.
No, I'm going to offer them a trade.
All right, but
service for a service.
See where everybody's going, yeah, man, that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. But here's what is important, though, is there are a lot of guys that brag about how they are so prepared, right? And understand this bothers my wife a lot because my wife does not want me sharing with the internet what I do here on the Hill. She doesn't, right? And she has reason to be concerned. She really does. So what I'm saying, if you are doing preparations for whatever calamity you are preparing for, whether it's a hurricane, a tornado, financial collapse of the U.S., whatever it is, understand one of the things you need to consider is good OPSEC, operational security. Don't be letting everybody know that you've got solar panels or that you've got
portable water buried under the ground.
That you've got 20,000 gallons of diesel fuel at your farm. Don't be letting people know that you've got 9 months worth of food for your family of 4, because to them, they don't even have a week's worth of food. And they're like, well, he should be sharing with us because we don't have anything. The problem, though, is your 9 months worth of food for your family of 4 lasts one day, not even one day, for the entire town. And then one day later, nobody has any food anymore. Exactly. So, and it's your right to have it. So,
good example of OPSEC is we're running ATV side-by-sides, and one of my jobs is a combat developer. I have to help the guys reduce the signatures for thermal scopes because nobody assumes that the enemy is going to have night vision or thermal sights. Well, the system that we came up with, doing RDT&E with an agency in D.C., the mufflers that we had that reduced that, Randy Worst got a hold of one. I said, Randy, what are you going to do with a muffler that reduced thermal signature and everything else? He says, well, I'll put it on my generator in the ground so when World War, zombie happens, nobody can know that I'm running a generator. I said, Randy, I never thought about that.
Sound,
OPSEC.
sight.
OPSEC.
All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, as far as for me, my wife understands, guys, I have my military retirement. I have my VA medical disability. I teach classes, but understand, I'm definitely, you understand this video has been demonetized already, right? Literally, if you look, this video has been demonetized already by YouTube because they love me. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because I am passionate about that there are dark clouds ahead for our country. And if I can help a bunch of you make life better for the people around you, maybe together we can drag this country out of the ashes. Okay. So yeah,
there are politicians that would rather see this country burn, and they'd rather be king of ashes than king of anything. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why whenever I hear these politicians on TV, and they cause all this divisiveness, and I always ask people who bring this thing up, they say, well, Steve, you're Black American, you're African American, don't you feel this way? I said, no. You know why? Because based on my belief of God, I am almost certain that when I go before God, I'm probably not going to show up as a black man. And I always ask these divisive people, what color is a spirit? What color is a soul? When you go before God, what color are you going to present yourself before God? Before when they open up the book and say, hey, here's your life, you're going to be judged. And they're going to say, well, Your Honor, when I was a black man, I was a white man. No, you're not going to show up as a spirit or a soul before God in a color. It might be a color, but it won't be the color you're wearing here on Earth.
I'm going to have tiger stripe face paint on. It's going to be awesome. Right out of that Vietnam shit. Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And the scale is going to go like this here. So, all this stuff, people, as we always say, blessed is he who, or she who, in the name of charity and goodwill. Charity and goodwill. Potable water, some of your supplies maybe, because not everybody's evil. Shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For why? Because they are truly their brothers and their sister's keeper and the finder of God's lost children. So, no haters on Tactical Rifleman.
I like this. Robert C., you just dissed Randy's stash. Do it again. Permanent block.
Oh,
No,
no, I was saying I want to be.
No, they weren't
Like
talking about you.
Randy's
He was
stash.
talking about Robert C. did it.
Okay.
Archeon threw down $2. Do you still teach the Valkyrie courses? We do Operation Valkyrie annually every
finished.
year. We just did it in February. We did it for 4 years straight. Now we're going to change the mission. It takes 18 months to plan that out. So we are not doing one next February in 2023. You can look at us bringing Operation Valkyrie back in February 2024. Excellent question, though.
To the guy that I mean, it got past me, but I saw what you said, where he says that you were getting ready to get a Mark 12 SPR from Precision Reflex, but we kind of spoiled you on it. Hey, I'm not saying don't buy what you want.
Yeah.
My beef, my situation with them is not yours. So don't let me take you away from because they are the makers of the design that I had for the original Mark 12.
Yep.
It's just that they, like most,
Shame on
them.
Shame
That's all,
on them. Shame on them.
It's hard else for me to say it because let me. I want to say something about
Go ahead, Steve. I'm gonna give Steve
our country. And I was
I'll
discussing this with my wife the other day. Our country, sometimes it's like everything is based on legalized theft. We talk about everybody else and the thieving politicians and Hunter Biden, how much money he was getting. AOC, her first term, she got caught trying to steal $850,000. And we have these corporations, these credit card corporations, these banks. Everybody's set up, and 10 years ago, we didn't have commercials about your credit card or, what's your rating. Now we have commercials about, if you don't have this rating or that rating, then, oh my gosh, you're in trouble. You need to get, 1-800, blah, blah, blah. And the guy walks up and bumps his head against the pole and all this other shit. That's just them creating a situation and a problem that doesn't exist. Situation like that in our country, that's legalized theft. That's no different than the mafia, taking over a waterfront and, getting their cut.
Yep.
That's at least they're saying, hey, we're stealing from you. Yeah, we're stealing from you.
We're falling behind here, Steve. And a couple of them are questions about 6.8. So let me cut through this. First off, Thomas N. asked, where did you get your ring? Do you have a ring on, Steve?
No.
He must be talking about mine. Guys, this is by Groove Life. They sponsored a live stream of ours a while back. And, the rubber rings that people wear, I like the Groove Life one because it's actually got vents on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see the lines on it, but it allows the finger to breathe, which my old rubber ring didn't have that. So I switched for that video, and I ended up keeping it on. So I haven't worn my wedding ring since then, except for going out nice places.
I didn't know about that one. I don't wear, if you notice, I don't wear rings.
Because
I don't wear watches.
Yeah.
Because I knew at least 7 SF Ranger brothers that served with me that they walked around like this right here.
Because the ring got hung up
at some point, getting out of a chopper or getting off the back of a vehicle, that ring or that watch got hung up, and they paid the cost for it. So that's just me.
Austin Burke threw down 2 bones. How do you feel about the Daniel Defense Mark 18? Steve?
I can't speak to that because I haven't used. I mean, I know of Daniel Defense. I know Marty Daniel. I interacted with him back in the early days when they first got started, when they started building their facility outside of Savannah. I don't run Daniel Defense systems, guys. Unlike Mr.
I've
Kinetic
heard good
Energy
things about it, but I've also heard mixed things about it.
Unlike Mr. Kinetic Energy here, I don't have a lot of the updated modern things. I don't have that kind of gear. I am a firm believer in what the great Jeff Cooper said, the guy who started Gunsight out in Arizona. Beware the man that owns only one gun. He might know how to use it.
Yeah.
All you guys running around, I got friends that have, when they show up to the range, they drop their tailgate and they pull out their little sliding thing and they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ARs all tricked out, ready to go, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there with a Marlin or a Henry X rifle and 45-70, and they're like, what the hell is that? And that one day we were shooting, and everybody had 6.5 Creedmoors and 308 ARs and 5.56, even some 6.8s, and they're shooting steel, and I shot one round on the steel, and the whole steel and the stand fell over. They were like, what the hell was that? I said, that's 405 grains at 1,550 feet per second. I call that my UPS, make them deploy early. Because if you don't make them deploy early when they get in your driveway and they stack on your door, the advantage is theirs. So if I make them deploy outside of the truck, when I hit them with that 45 grain, 45-70, wow. They got to stack behind the truck. Then they got to work their way across the open ground. Then open ground, you have to deal with grazing fire.
All right, for all
and I can tell you right now, those of you who don't know what grazing fire is, grazing fire is a motherfucker. I'm telling you, man.
For all my ATF and for all my ATF guys in the chat room, and I got a couple FBI, NSA guys in the chat room also. I didn't talking about the Google moderator. You can go back upstairs and get some hot pockets.
I did not say what agencies it might be.
I know.
I'm just saying that there's some divisive
for my ATF
people out there. Most of my friends are
the ATF guys are welcome to watch our live
Most of my friends are ATF. I have a couple friends in
I don't
FBI.
have a single friend in the ATF.
No,
not a single one.
What's wrong with you?
I've got friends in the FBI. I've got friends that are BORTAC, friends that are Border Patrol,
BORTAC,
friends that are DEA,
U.S. Marshals, SOC,
U.S. Marshals,
Border Patrol.
I have a single friend that worked for the ATF. No.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm just saying they're scared to come around for some reason. I don't know.
I said the UPS truck. Okay, I didn't say any law enforcement, local law enforcement, state or federal. I'm saying divisiveness.
Guys, understand, Steve is joking as always. All right.
But I do love my 45-70.
Yes, he does. Colby Dixon wanted to wish everybody happy Osama bin Laden is dead day. I take it this is the anniversary of that raid. Okay.
Quick YouTube police question.
Okay.
I know we can't touch firearms.
We can't touch firearms
during the live stream.
No.
Can we touch parts?
Yes.
Okay.
You can touch parts all day long.
So drum roll.
Steve's gonna. What'd you bring, Steve? What'd you bring? Oh shit.
I'll be back.
Okay. Well, Steve's gone. Joshua Putman said, at Carl and Steve, what is your opinion on the Army going back to pinks and greens? I'm assuming you're talking about the new dress uniform, the Class A's. Honest, I'm not in anymore. Here's the deal. It really doesn't matter your dress uniform. It really doesn't. Because the only time we would put on Class A uniforms, because you know people are you're actually supposed to travel in them when you're in the military, when you're off. If you go off base, you're supposed to be in Class Bs, or if you're going to be traveling like commercially, you're supposed to be in your Class A uniform. We never did that. We would always fly in civilian clothes. For me to be in my dress green uniform was twice. One was to go to get my Department of Army photo for the promotion board, and then the other time was a funeral. Like, I wanted to be buried in my Class A uniform. That was it. Other than that, you guys would be kicking and screaming. They'd hold like a Class A inspection, or you had to be in dress uniform for the general to pin your Bronze Star on you. No, that's bullshit. The general can pin that thing on me in my ACUs, right? I can wear multicam and he can pin a Bronze Star on me. I don't have to wear my Class A. So we would never wear them. We never would. Even when we had like fancy get-togethers, for example, the dining in. For example, once a year they do like a big, Christmas banquet, and generals come in, fly in, and everything. And here's a picture, for example. Where is it at? Right there. And we were wearing greens back then, but that's my dress blue uniform, guys. Yes, I know my wife is smoking hot. I got that. But notice I'm not in a green uniform. These are called our dress blues. So even when we got dressed up to go out, we still didn't wear our greens. We still didn't. So the fact that the Army wants to go back to greens, that's okay. But understand they're still going to keep the dress blues. They are. Now, they went to blues all the time for a while. They really did. And they got away from the greens. They went to wearing blues all the time. And to me, that's just, it's kind of like the Air Force. They look like they were from Star Trek. That's just not my thing. It's not my thing. So I'm glad they're going back to the greens. I am. I'm glad they're going back to the greens. Cool stuff indeed. All right, Susan, I apologize. I'm falling behind here. I will try to get caught up. I see Steve just brought in a gun case. Officer Savage, do you teach or know anyone who teaches recce or urban survival courses? Yes and yes. We do. The last time I did it, it was a private course. A lot of times if we do tactics, they are customized classes for particular groups. As far as urban survival, I know a couple guys that have taught it. And have talked about I do not currently know of anybody that has open enrollment classes for either one of those subjects. It's kind of like shooting with night vision, gas masks, or night shooting classes where the whole class is done with night vision goggles at like an indoor shoot house or something. Those classes sound awesome, and you put them on the training calendar, and everybody says they want to come, but you put one on the calendar, half the people that want to come then can't, because it doesn't match dates that they can come, and the reality is there's just not enough people to fill it. So we will be putting a gas mask course onto the training calendar, probably the fall, early spring. But I'm honest, I have to find a decent range to do it at, because I also want to do it in conjunction with doing close quarters battle. In other words, I need a shoot house for using the gas mask stuff. So, and then you get into night vision. A lot of people want to take night vision classes, but again, you really do need you need an indoor range to do that, because a night vision class, it sounds great, we'll show up after dinner and we'll stay till sunrise. No, you guys will be half asleep by midnight. So you've got to have it so you can make it dark at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then everybody goes home in time for dinner. It's you guys are not superhuman. You don't work reverse cycle like we did overseas. That's just not how it worked. All right, Recce. Mark threw down 20 bones. Enjoy seeing you dudes enjoying yourself. I just retired, was a fag. Multiple tours, and...
What's this thing as a fag?
A former action guy.
What's this thing? You're always in action. You're in the fight
multiple tours, and the thing I miss the most is the brotherhood. Can't find it anywhere else in the world like you can in the military. I agree with that, and you'll hear me saying, like I get... People will send questions and stuff that were like 11 Bravos, or they had some other job in the military. And I always started off with, thank you for your service. I do. Absolutely. Because sincerely, we have to have everybody on this team. We really do. Sydney Shaw threw down at Tactical Rifleman. Hi, Steve. What is the optimum barrel length and bullet weight for the 6.8 SPC?
What's his name? Her name? Miss, ma'am?
Sydney Shaw.
Is that Sydney, Mr. Sydney or Miss Sydney?
Let's go with just
Sydney.
Binarily neutral.
Binary neutral.
Shaw. Honestly, if it's girls, you're welcome to shoot the 6.8 also.
I go back to my earlier statement, quoting Jeff Cooper, beware the man that owns only one rifle. Whether it's optimum 16.5 inch, 18 inch, 20 inch, I've not gone past, I do have a bolt gun that's a 22 inch, but I prefer 21 inch. Optimum really kind of goes toward what ammo you're going to run. Because if you're running what I call heavy for caliber, anything above 115 grain with a 6.8, then you're looking at 18, 20-inch barrels. If you're running 110s, 105s, 115s, the 90 grain ATK load that the Saudi Royal Guard runs on their LWRCI PDWs is an awesome round. It's an awesome load, but it's designed around 8, 9, 10-inch barrels. So there's no specific answer for that. But
depends what your mission is.
In generality, as just a red-blooded American, I would probably say 18 inches. When we did the Mark 12...
What weight?
Bullet weight?
Yeah.
110, 115. When we did the Mark 12 Mod H, the 16.5 inch upper, it was because the teams who were initially when we did the Mark 12... Can I touch this?
Yes. Yeah.
I can?
You can.
Okay. Y'all ain't ready for this. You ain't ready for it. Let me put it back. You ain't ready for it. Okay.
Let me get a couple more of these.
Guys, behold.
He just had to point it right at my melon. Woo! Wow.
This is the original.
Original.
Old friend of mine that said, I'll let you show this. This is the original.
Wow. Guys, how many live streams get to do that? That is no shit, the original.
This is the original 20-inch 6.8 SPC Mark 12. And the reason we went 20 is in load development back in those days, we knew if we didn't need to go 21, 22. We already found out with the bolt guns. So we had them do a couple of 20s. And some guys said, hey, I want one my own. And they threw in their own money. And basically what we decided to do is go 20. And then once we shot the loads with 20, we would cut down to 18. And then we would cut down to 16 and a half to the Mod 8 16 and a half. And we're running the mid-length 10-inch gas tube. That's the rifle style.
I got it. Yep.
So basically what you're looking at, I can touch this too, right?
Yep.
Is the original. This is an M16A1 original stock style for the original 20-inch Mark 12 SPR. In addition, the requirement for the 6.8 Mark 12, the SPRs, or whatever you want to call except the Mod 1, the Reed Knight version. That was just a political, let's pat Reed Knight on the head. This was the original M16A1, and for the shooters that did not like the pistol grip stock,
because they were used to shooting the M24, which was a Remington 700 bolt action.
So if you had, let's say you had a sniper, and he's got his M24 on his back. He's moving through Solder City. He's moving through Fallujah. He needs to get to the third floor with his M24 or his Macmillan 300 Win Mag, but he's also got to provide security. He needs a gun to do that, but he's used to a bolt gun versus a pistol grip. We had the double concept, which was also the straight stock 6.8 Mark 12 SPR that married up to whatever that shooter wanted. If you wanted a 16.5 inch, because he's running security until he gets in position with his bolt gun, or he preferred, an 18-inch or a 20-inch, or he might get to his position and say that I need to cover my team like Carl would do. Teams are stacked up, they're going inside. Yep. He gets there, and all of a sudden everything kicks off. He doesn't have time to pull his M24 out of his side, do everything else. Now he's got a straight stock SPR sitting there, 20-inch, 6.8, and he can get busy.
You don't have. It's not bolt action, guys. Understand your AR upper fits right on this. Literally, it's got a different bolt on it.
One or the other. Can you see that? One or the other. This
is how the bolt runs the recoil system inside the stock of that one, guys. But understand, it's still gas impingement.
So if you prefer a straight rifle stock here, and I might, like myself, I carry the 300 Win Mag. So I don't want an M24 because, I'm reaching out 600, 700, 800 yards. And a good example is when we were running sniper ops in Somalia. But some guys who are the younger generation snipers that we train, they grew up, came into the Army. The only thing they ever touched in their life was an M16. So they like the pistol grip. Old school guys like the straight grip. Yeah. So we were able to do both. But that is the one of the original 20-inch uppers, and the intent was we'll run 20. And as we get the numbers, cut the barrel off for velocity numbers. And we would shoot a spread of, guys, I'm talking 500-600 rounds at different bullet weights per barrel length. 20-inch, 500 or 600 rounds, different bullet weights, cut it to 19 inches. 500 or 600 rounds, cut it. And I'm talking about weeks of work, because I was a firm believer in cold barrel zero. Don't shoot hot barrel. I don't want velocities and group size on a hot barrel. I want let the barrels cool off, and
then
we shoot
5
again.
more.
Yeah, shoot again. It took weeks, sometimes months.
All right, Sherry Champagne, a.k.a. Erica Hotstetler, threw down $5. When it comes to
Eric Hotstetler.
Erica Hotstetler.
Okay.
Different, not Eric.
Okay.
When it comes to needing water for an emergency, I can always stab a straw into my breast implants for saline water, smiley face, crying, and then 2 beers crashing into each other. Erica, she's one of our resident nutbags. You'll meet her at the Patreon course. Farm is back.
The key thing is going to be saline.
Yes. Yeah. She has saline implants.
Key thing was, if you would have said, hey, I punched my thing and I got some Aquafina in there, that's one thing. Or I got some zero water in there, but you got saline in there. I don't know about the saline part.
I'm pretty sure she was joking.
I know she was. I know she was. I know she was. I'm joking.
Palm threw down 10 bones. Do you think that Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter will relax YouTube's policies on guns? No, but here's the deal. It is a step in the right direction. People need to see, because unfortunately this country has slid down this slippery slope so far because they're trying to appease everybody yelling. But unfortunately, it's a very small group that's yelling. The whole
Rusty Nail.
LBG, everything, Antifa, this. I understand. I don't care what gender you want to pretend to be or what gender you make yourself. Guys and gals, I don't care. I don't care. But don't try to push it on everybody else and act like that's normal and that I'm not normal and that me and Steve are white supremacists because we like guns and God. All right. Because you're white supremacist. Yeah. You know you are.
I saw the movie.
So what's going to happen eventually, people are going to see that the silent majority is still the majority. Now, the problem, though, is all you guys screaming, yeah, we're the majority. We are. You're not as big of a majority as you think you are. You're really not.
Especially when the grazing fire starts.
Yeah, well, it's because we have allowed our education system, because now both parents are working, we have allowed our education system to slowly convert more and more people to accepting this far left way as normal, and it's not normal. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
And the whole thing with gender and you know, you have a small segment, especially now with social media, and God bless Elon Musk. I'm praying that he's on God's path to get some of this stuff straightened out. You have too many, in my opinion, of this current younger generation that follows movie stars and actors and actresses and singers and celebrities, and they listen to what these people are saying. These people are a small percentage of America.
Yeah.
Very small percentage of America. You should not necessarily be listening to what they're saying, because their agenda is all about keeping themselves popular and relevant. I could be stuck in a cave for 3 or 4 months and give a shit less what's going on out there, and my mission is to be stuck in that cave. It's not going to bother me. You take one of these celebrities and you put them in a cave for 3 or 4 months, they're going to lose their mind, because nobody's kissing their ass and sucking up to them.
I understand they play the part of action heroes. They are not action heroes.
Yeah.
Think about what were these guys back in high school. They were not the action heroes. They were not the tough guys. They were the guy that could remember his lines in the high school play.
Good example.
Right? I mean, think about it.
Good example of what's going on today, okay? A couple of weeks ago, we had the Ukraine with all this fake wag the dog stuff they got going on. Then you had a couple of other incidents going on. And all of a sudden, we got to draw attention away from all this other bad stuff about Hunter Biden and all these politicians that are doing wrong things. So they start this whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing. Like,
watching something else.
I have nothing to do with my day or my family's day than to start. Johnny Depp is on trial. Amber Heard, and she put out my cigarette before I finished smoking it. Really?
That's
really
top news.
I'm about to violate all kind of YouTube things when I talk about that, because I used to switch channels just to see 6 freaking main media news channels. There's Johnny Depp. There's Johnny Depp. It's like he's got his hair back in the back. He's got a little fat man thing going on. Like he's going to be on The Sopranos. He's like his next role, his next big thing movie. And watch me. You witness me right now. Witness me. Johnny Depp is going to come out with some movie. He's going to be some gangster guy, like the Fall Guys of The Soprano, with his little ponytail and his fat gut thing going, because they set it up with this whole Amber Heard thing. Give me a break. But everybody's sitting there watching it. And I was just staring at my wife sometimes, and she's like, okay, I'll turn it off. And she is an out front, flag waving, God bless America woman, and
all right,
don't get in the way.
We're gonna keep moving.
But
Steve.
no, we got to go back to this.
Dude, I am way behind, and you want to talk about Johnny Depp now
because it's all the psyops.
Dog, Steve.
Wagging the dog is a psyops thing.
You really want my channel shut down here? You understand? You're not allowed to tell the truth on YouTube, dude. Have you not figured that out yet?
Was I telling the truth? Or was
Hello? All right, so Andy Martin threw down right here. Carl, can you answer the question? Are you saying, based on your experience as SF, we're heading for a civil war? Yeah, I can tell you truth. No, we are not.
No, we're not.
We are not.
We're not.
All you boogaloo guys that want Carl to say it's time to take up arms, I know you guys are praying for. I pray you never have to draw down on another human being. I pray you never have to draw down on another American. All right. If you have to defend your country, all right, it will be something god awful comes down, financial collapse or China.
Yeah.
Okay, but China doesn't want to come to U.S. soil. It's like 60% of the money that China brings in from the entire world comes from the U.S.
Fighters disguised as illegal immigrants. Yeah. But let me say something about that, guys. I talk with these guys all the time.
We're not going to boogle
and they're not understanding. A good example is this Ukraine wag the dog thing. You look at these people that are displaced from their homes. You probably have a schedule. You go to work, you come home, you have dinner, your kids are there, your wife are there, or not, or however you do it with whoever you do it with, and your day, and you go online, you can complain about this, do this and that. If somebody kicks you out of your house, shuts down your bank account, takes away your vehicle, only thing you have is what you could grab. And if you got to go back, yeah, you got to go back. But from that point on, you joining the masses going down the highway, heading toward Canada or Mexico. That is not one of those situations that anybody wants to be in. I've been in countries where people have been displaced. Displaced is a motherfucker. I'm telling you. Because you don't have anything except what you have. Look at the immigrants coming across the border. They have what they have, except for the ones that are backed up by the cartels and they're smuggling drugs, and they got ATM cards and all this other shit, because there's also some backside of that. But still, you don't want to be run out of your house and your house destroyed and crushed and thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to have a civil war. You don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't want that, because sooner or later you're going to run into somebody that is there and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're trained military, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, let's grab our, you're going to run and shoot it out with them. No, you're going to run into some fucking grazing fire. And grazing fire is a motherfucker. Right. I'm telling you.
Next one. Without further ado, what citation is Carl most proud of receiving? Actually, I got 3 Bronze Stars and an Army Commendation Medal for Valor. I've got my Expert Infantryman's badge. I got my Combat Infantryman's badge.
And he's a medic.
I have my Expert Field Medical badge and my Combat Medic badge, which you're only allowed to wear one of each class. I've got Static Line Jump Master wings. I have got Halo Jump Master wings. I've even got the coveted Air Assault badge. Toughest 10 days in the Army, which it wasn't, by the way. The award I am most proud of getting ever is a Joint Service Commendation Medal. I got it for, and everybody's wanting a good war story. I got it for training the 71st CT in the Jordanian military. That's what I got the award for training them on a deployment. And so here's everybody wants the Great War. So no, honestly, the truth is, anybody that can train the Jordanians deserves a medal. That's how fucked up they are. Those boys are fucked up. So anyways, that's the award.
The next highest medal for training someone in a foreign country or corners will be the Egyptians. If you can train the Egyptians on airborne operations based on the U.S. Army method of operation for airborne operations, you have done something.
Shami 313, Carl, why did the broomstick vertical grip stop in popularity? I use them, but I see grip it to pull the rifle tighter into my shoulder. The reason why we went to them was because you need to be able to pull it into your shoulder to manage recoil. The problem, though, was we had our PQ2 on one side of the gun, we had our flashlight on the other side of the gun, and we had our iron sight up top, and our rail didn't have any other space. So we put the grip underneath. It allowed us to pull it in. Fast forward, now, but back in the day, we had short handguards. So now we have longer handguards, more real estate. And what it allows you to do now is literally our flashlights. We're using D-balls that are actually mounted above behind the iron sight, because the iron sight is pushed further down the barrel now. And flashlight on one side, and I agree with you, the C-grip. Now, can you C-grip with the broomstick? You can, but guys started making 45-degree grips to allow you to have the hand in a more natural position. Okay, all right, there's nothing wrong with using a broomstick. The problem with just using the broomstick with nothing else on the gun is the barrel is further away from the center of your hand. And therefore, recoil, it's harder for you to drive the gun around. By you moving it, in other words, the pistol being up above your hand, that slide moving back and forth, you would be able to manage recoil better if it was in the middle of your hand. You can't have that slide going back and forth, so you sacrifice that stability by having the slide above it. Same thing with the gun. By you moving the barrel and pistol grip gun above, you can't manage it as well as if you put your hand around it. So it allows you to manage recoil by bringing your hand up around the barrel with the C grip.
And one of the systems that, as Carl was talking about, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pistol. It was a revolver called the Rhino. It had the barrel was
lower revolver,
lower, and it was dead center. Very similar to companies that have done sights that instead of being on top of the slide, you're trying to come up with a way to see around it and through where the barrel and the slide was. And basically what you're saying is, I'm actually, instead of I'm up here looking through either, iron sights, red dot sights, everything else, I'm looking through a sight that gives me, you know how they showed it on TV, they got these new Chevrolet GMC trucks and SUVs where they show the trailer, then they show the camera, can actually look around the backside of the trailer. Mm-hmm. Well, imagine if you had a sight that you're in the back of the slide, which you're looking down the chamber in the barrel, but it's showing you the front of the barrel. That would be actually perfect for the human body to look down the line of sight, either on a rifle or a pistol, but mainly on a pistol.
Regal Ben Yehuda threw down $5.
Yehuda.
Is there any way civilians can get into running night vision without breaking the bank? No, honest. There are dirt cheap night vision goggles out there, but if you're going to actually use them for something besides just airsoft, understand that you're once you start using them for real, they don't like the concussion. They don't like you banging them around. So I always tell everybody, your first set of night vision that you own, and understand I've got, like, not exaggerating, I've got a dozen, maybe 18 different night vision devices. I've got thermals, I've got Gen 3s, I've got dedicated weapon mounted, I've got helmet mounted, I've got clip-ons for weapons, a little bit of everything. I've helped 4 different night vision companies develop night vision. All right. So, literally as a paid consultant, paid to develop their stuff. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. All right. I will always tell everybody your first nod that you buy, your first night observation device should be a PVS 14. That way, no matter you buying mounts and everything else, everything is compatible. Because if you get one that's $300 cheaper, but is not a PVS 14, understand you can only use their attachments. Spend the extra $300, get the PVS 14, and any nod mount, any head net, any weapon mount that will fit any of the million PVS 14s out there will also fit yours. So buying used mounts and stuff at a gun show, gun store, pawn shop, whatever, they'll still work with your stuff. And then as far as which one to get the best tube that you can afford. If you can afford a Gen 2 Plus, get a Gen 2 Plus. If you can afford a Gen 3 tube, get a Gen 3 tube. Without getting too deep into it, that's what I'm going to recommend for you. All right, Steve, I do gotta get we gotta get caught up here.
So why are you referencing me when you say
large Farva 540, and nobody has thrown down $6.80 yet, but he did throw down 20 bones. Just bought the ACSS Vulcan and so excited. Any classes behind enemy lines for us in California? Thank you, and Steve, for your service. There are guys that teach in California. There's a guy named Kawa. Kawa he's actually a U.S. citizen. I think his mom was Afghani. He actually came to my SIF company for a few weeks, a couple months. I remember what it was. He served at our SIFAUT committee. But he lives in California and he does do training in California. I will never teach a class in California. Let me rephrase that. I have taught private classes in California, but you understand it's going to be deep, deep pockets for me to go deep behind enemy lines in that cesspool to teach a class. Seriously,
but
I
at the same
cannot stand.
But at the same
California.
time, that is the greatest challenge.
I'm not ruling it out,
as
but
an
as
American,
of right now,
as an American,
I know
that is the greatest challenge.
I got it, but I will not be.
Okay.
I will not be going. Brother, honest, I have a lot of clients, students, friends, patrons, family members that live behind enemy lines in California, and they come and take classes all the time. I literally, the last set of classes we did in Texas, I had AJ Shira was there, and we had a couple other guys that they all flew in from California. One guy was from Washington State, again, outside the continental United States. They fly into America, and they get in, and they've got all these weird pistol grip with like a side thing on it, so you can't grip it like a pistol grip on their ARs. It's okay. You get in the parking lot at the airport, you take all that bull crap off your gun, and you turn it into a normal blaster, and then you're good to go. All right, that one. Next one, Carl Steve. What are the advantages, disadvantages of a heavier bull barrel on precision rifles? Go ahead, Steve. I'll let you start first. Advantages of a bull barrel on guns. Why did they put that on the M24 sniper weapon system?
Oh my gosh. You have to understand that the people that make decisions on the design of the weapon systems for the U.S. military, they are
Steve, would you prefer for me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. You heard Steve mention earlier that he prefers cold bore grouping, right? So what he means by that is he's trying to gather data on that 6.8, or you're trying to gather data on that 308, or you're trying to gather data on that 300 Norm, or whatever it is, that precision rifle. Understand that when you shoot at that guy that is 800 meters away, you need a bullet that is insanely accurate. You do. The problem, though, is the more you shoot, that barrel starts to warm up. And as it warms up, especially if you've got the weight of a suppressor screwed on the end of it, as the barrel warms up, you start to get more flex, and it will actually throw off the zero of the gun. So the advantage of running a heavier barrel is there is more steel there, and the harmonics run purer, more consistent for more rounds. It takes more rounds to heat up the barrel to the point to where you'll start getting barrel droop. Now, there's more to it than that, but that is one of the major factors. Now, people will say, well, in combat, you would never shoot your M24 that much. And I agree with that. I agree with that. I have only shot a few guys here and there. They're random, right? But our old sniper school, it's now the Special Forces Sniper course, but it used to be called SOTIC, Special Operations Target Interdiction Course. And when you do SOTIC, right, I went through SOTIC in 94, I think, 100 years ago. That was my fourth sniper school. I did one with Mr. White. I did the Department of Army School. I did the 2nd ID Sniper School. So anyways, you do all these courses. But SOTIC, for example, when we're doing snaps and movers, literally you're at the 300 meter line, the 400 meter line, the 500 meter line, and they're putting a target up and you've got to quickly engage it. That's called a snap, right? Your spotter gives you a quick wind correction, tells you either left, center, or right, and then he immediately gives you a wind call, and you've got to hit that target before it comes down. Then you start doing movers. You shoot the moving target going left to right, and then right to left, and they keep going back and forth till you have enough data, and you swap guys, and then you go back to the next yard line, and the next yard line. In the course of a single day of doing snaps and movers, because remember, it only takes so many thousand rounds before this gun is shot out. We were shooting 200 rounds a day, 200 bullets through a precision sniper rifle a day. There are people that don't shoot that much in a year, right? But for the U.S. military training, we had to shoot. So Now, I would shoot my strings and then stop. And my buddy would then, we'd switch from spotter to shooter, shooter to spotter. I would spot for him. And when we were done at that yard line, we would swap with the teams that were in the pits running the targets. They would do data on their guns. And then we'd go back to the next yard line and we'd do it again. During that time that we were switching, my gun was cooling down. So my gun only needed to be able to stay true for 60, 80 rounds straight. Now, if all I had was a light barrel on that gun, and light barrels can shoot as accurate as heavy barrels, they can, but understand that you hit that 20, that 30, that 40 round, all of a sudden that gun, it starts getting hot, and it starts getting erratic on you. So, anyways, for me, that, and there are other things, I understand that, but for me personally, that is the reason why we ran. Steve, I'll let you elaborate if I didn't cover all of it.
No, Carl, you covered all of it. The only thing I would add is a man who only owns one gun might know how to use it.
Steve, all right.
Because what I'm saying is, guys, let me take you back in history. If you remember back in the days of like the Maxim machine gun, right? And then you had machine guns like the Maxim. We have agencies within the U.S. government, Department of Defense, that spend millions of your tax dollars every freaking year. Millions. And then you see, oh, we're going to give the illegal immigrants and the cartel immigrants come across the border $400,000 a piece. Really? Wait a minute. You just taxed me X amount of dollars. I like to have $400,000 a piece. But they spend millions of dollars and they come up with these concepts of cooling barrels. You know, this kind of antifreeze and this kind of, Freon and this right here. They had the Maxim machine gun back in the 1800s. Guess what they had? They called a water-filled jacket. Yeah. Right? They circulated water around the barrel, and it kept the barrel cool.
And it worked.
Hello? But all of a sudden, you have to understand that these people that work in these departments, they come out of college, and they're probably C or D level in college. Now, all you A and B level guys are going on
the
to your private sector and everything else. Well, these C and D level guys, they like, oh, I can join this government agency because they're looking for college graduates. So these college graduates, they go in, let's say, as a GS7, okay, and they're in charge of cleaning barrels after they shoot, 8 or 9, 10 machine guns or some study that they got funded for. So 4 or 5 years later, this GS7, he becomes a GS10. But you're still in the private sector and you're moving up and you got your money going into, your 401k, you're doing all this right here. And then you get hired by some defense industry guy to come up with a new machine gun to replace the 249 or the 240 or something like that. And then you got to deal with the government. But the guy you're dealing with in the government, this GS10 is now a GS14. Okay? He's still a dick. He's still a C or D level college guy, but he just climbed up. And then you say, oh, well, we have this design by this guy that is just brilliant, but we sent it to the government facility and they say it failed. And everybody goes, oh my gosh, it failed. I say, send somebody to watch the people that run the test, because what they say failed is just them going against you because you made an A or B in college and they had a C or D. Okay? That's why you end up with people, 120 years later saying, if we ran antifreeze from a car around a barrel, we could keep it cool. They had that on the Maxim machine gun in 1825. But we give them $200 million of your tax dollars. They would get another $33 million over to the Ukraine for their needs. Then on the border, we give another X amount of $1 million to them, and it's all a game. It's all a game. Heavy barrels do their thing up to a certain point. And I know I'm taking up a lot of calls time, but that's what I do. I take up time. Okay, so I was shooting with Jay Johnson, right? And Jay Johnson comes out one day, and we're shooting, and we're running accuracy. And about day 4, he said, "Hey, Steve, I decided I'm not going to come out to the range with you tomorrow." I said, "Why is that, Jay?" He says, "Well, because we come out to the range for 4 days, and each day you've shot 16 rounds in about 5 hours. And I don't want to do that no more." I said, "Jay, I tell you what, tomorrow's Friday." I said, "I tell you what, why don't you bring one of your rifles out?" Right? So he brings one of his rifles out. Remington 700. I mean, I'm talking about off the shelf from like back in the day, like J.C. Penney or Grant or Woolworth. Way back in the day.
I've got a 6.8 just popped up, and I'm not going to... No looking at it, Steve. No looking at it. We got to get caught up first.
Okay, no, let me finish this one. So, we're talking about Remington 700 from Woolworth. An ADL. Not a BDL or nothing fancy, an ADL. So, it's a 270 Winchester. And he shoots some rounds. He's shooting about a 2-inch group, 3-shot group. I said, "Jay, you know what? I happen to have some 270 Winchester reloads that I load for my 270 Winchester, which is specific hand loads, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Let me check your chamber with my stony point overall length gauge. Make sure that your lead in your throat is good. I'm not going to put any pressure on the gun." And I check it, and it's fine. I said, "Okay, I'll shoot 3 of my rounds." He shoots the first round, and he goes, "Where to hit?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it where it hit. I want you to shoot me a group. Don't worry about the bullseye." He shoots the second round. He goes, "Where am I at?" Because he's got a 1-6 scope. He can't see the target, the impact on the target. He shoots. I was sitting there, after the second round, I'm sitting there thinking in the spots go. I'm like, man, he's going to fuck this third round up. He's going to fuck this group up. He shoots the third round, and I'm sitting there looking through the spot scope. I'm talking about a God scope, a tripod. And he goes, "How'd it do? How'd it do?" I said, "Well, let's go down there and take a look." We walked down there, 3 rounds slow fire. Remington 700 ADL. Okay, ADL, not even a floor plate on the bottom. A dime. 3 rounds underneath a dime. And he's like, "Man, that's incredible." I said, "Yes, it is. And that's why we shoot slow fire." He goes, he bought this gun. When he brought this gun out to the range, he bought 2 boxes of ammo with this gun. Okay? In the first box, he still had 11 rounds left. He owned his gun for 15 years. Think about that. He's got 11 rounds left out of 2 boxes. No, he's got 20 rounds, 1 full box. The other box, he's got 11 rounds left. He's had his gun for 15 years. He shoots 3 rounds under a dime just by shooting reloads that'll run out on his throat, and I'll back it off about 20,000. Just so when you talk about heavy barrel, it has an effect based on the amount of rounds you're going to fire. But at the same time, again, cold barrel zero. Man only has 1 gun. Knows how to use it. I don't know. No, I got to finish this one.
Finish it, Steve. Finish it. Wrap it up.
There was a guy.
I'm going to run the stopwatch. 90 seconds.
I don't support criminals or anything like that.
Seconds.
And I don't know what they say he did, but this guy was up in Canada, and he was on the run.
72 seconds.
I got it. I'm tracking. And he was on the run. And you Canadians probably know who this guy is. This is about
54 seconds.
15, 20 years ago. And the Canadian Mounties, they were after this guy. He was up in the mountains and the hills, of Canada.
41.
And the helicopter came in. They tracked him down. The helicopter came in. They had a shooter. He shot the shooter. Then he shot the co-pilot of the helicopter.
36 seconds.
And then he shot, I guess, the pilot, because the helicopter went down, and the Mounties came in behind him. He was shooting a Ruger #1 single shot rifle and 270 Winchester, and they got video of him. He's got rounds between his fingers, and as he fires, he jacks one out, sticks another one in with a single shot, and fires. Cold barrel 0.
15.
That guy only owned one gun. He knew how to fucking
11
use
seconds, Steve.
He knew how to use it. Psst. I'm out.
Oh, dude, you got 4 more seconds.
No, I'm out.
You got 4 more seconds.
I'm out. Cold barrel 0. Yeah, whatever.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
Cold barrel 0 is not bad. It has its applications in certain situations. As Carl said, in Soda, they shot 200 rounds a day. As a designated marksman in a civilian world, surviving in a nuclear war, you're not going to shoot 20 rounds a day.
Don't make me put you up Parade Hua, man.
I still remember how to do it.
All right, New York City drummer 23,
wait.
Marvin. What's up, Marvin? You got to go like this. What's up, Marvin?
What's up, Marvin?
What's up, Marvin?
What's up, Marvin?
All right, threw down 20 bones. Sup, Carl and Steve. Sup, Marvin. Marvin's good people, law enforcement in New York City. Thank you for your service. Currently have a PVS 14. Should I go with another to run as binos, or get real binos, or get a PVS 2730 or thermals? Thank you for your service and all you do. The problem with, and it sounds like you could just get another PVS 14 and what they call a bridge. The problem with running a bridge is I've never used a bridge that worked correctly for me. They just, it sounds great, but I've never gotten a bridge. And I've tried a couple bridges by a couple different companies. I just don't like them. So you already have a PVS 14. You're good. Save that. Keep that in that go bag you keep in the vehicle. But get yourself a set of binos, dude. I don't care if they're an old pair of AVS 6s. I ran AVS 6s while everybody else was running 15s. They're good. If you can afford PVS 27 or 30s or anything else, again, buy the best tube that you can afford. Don't get hung up on, well, it's got to be this or it's got to be that. Get the best tube that you can afford. Yes, quad 4 tubes is going to give you better situational awareness than 2, but honestly, I can't afford quads. I don't. And the disadvantage of quads is
quads make it rain.
We would always run binos all night long, riding on the trucks, getting in place. The guys that are running quads, they run with no night vision till they get to the breach point, and then they're putting those quads down, because with them down, the front, I mean, they actually got to put weights on the back of the helmets just to counter the weight of it.
And the thing about the 14 is when you're running a binocular, and again, it goes back to the quads. If you don't have the money for something like that, like the military does, the binocular it gives you that one eye on the rear wall that gives you that depth perception. And as you're moving, just a slight difference in the ground of, let's say, 8 or 9 inches as you're walking, whether you're on open terrain or you're inside a building and you're trying to walk down steps, it makes a lot of difference having that one eye for your brain to sync up with that 14 for night vision to enable you to move. And if you kept a 14, like I would do, on my gun, and then I got a 14 on my non-dominant eye, then I can move. But, trying to use the other things that you're talking about, especially the quads, you're taking away, especially in an urban environment, you're taking away that ability for your mind to match up to what you're actually seeing, especially if you have the transition staircases.
I got another one here for you, Steve. This is from Bubba Bong.
Bubba.
Question for Steve, you too, Carl, maybe. Just bought an Alex Pro upper in 22-250. 24-inch long barrel, 1 in 14 twist.
Smoking.
What is the best bullet specification load out for 600 to 1,000 yard coyote hunting? Steve is awesome. So are you, Carl. All right, so he's got 1 in 14 twist in a 22-250.
That sounds
What
slow.
bullet weight would you recommend he go with?
Man,
I'm not a 22-250 guy.
God bless you. I haven't heard often of a 22-250 in an AR running a 1 in 14. That's slow.
Probably a bolt
That's
gun.
slow. That's slow. That's
But
a
he's got a
slow
long
twist for that
barrel,
round.
dude. That's a long barrel.
Yeah. It
Still
is.
24 inch.
It is.
Man,
I mean,
that would have to be
may-
a fast-moving bullet.
exactly. It would have to be a very
fast.
It would have to be a very light bullet. I'm talking
Light.
probably
that's what I'm saying,
45 grain bullet. But then again, you know, Carl and I, we tend sometimes to think about our own domain tactically. As far as hunting coyotes, most 2250s you're not going to get heavy bullets like 62 grain, 77 grain, or 80 grain, something like that, like 5.56. So 22-250, 114. Let's go. Let's forget about the barrel and everything else. Look at your rounds, whether you're reloading or you're buying commercial. Look at your 55s. Look at your 45s. 1 in 14 is probably going to run your 45s better, and shoot a spread. Let's say that rifle you have, a 22-250, 24-inch barrel, 1 in 14 twist, is the only rifle you have. And beware of a man who only has one gun. He might know how to shoot it well. Well, buy ammo.
Different weights.
Yeah. But probably you're going to start with instead of like 60, I might throw a 60 in there just in case, but 55 down to 45, and then different companies, and find out which one groups better. And then again, it goes back to that heavy barrel, light barrel, heating up. That 22-50, that's a fast round. That's a lot of heat. Take your time. Don't take Jay Johnson to the range with you, because he's going to get mad because you're going to shoot 10 rounds in like an hour. So, but take your time, shoot the 45 grain bullets, and even though it might be 45 grain Remington, 45 grain Winchester, 45 grain Hornady, 45 grain Black Hills,
You'll find there is a difference grouping.
You're going to find something that's going to shoot better than the rest, and stick with that.
He mentioned grouping. You do this on paper. Everybody wants to just shoot steel because they don't want to move back and forth.
No, you don't group on steel.
You don't group on steel. All right. But Carl, they have steel at that. I got that. No. Right next to the piece of steel, you put up a paper target. It can be a piece of cardboard you cut out of a case of beer. Staple a bullseye to it and shoot a group at. I like doing grouping drills at 500, but you specifically said 600 to 1,000. So do it at 600. Make sure you're on by shooting your steel. But once you can hit the steel at 600, put up a piece of paper and shoot the best shot group you can with each type of ammo. And look, go down, take a picture of it with your phone, mark all those out, and then go shoot it the next, and you'll see, literally by just changing brands, you're going to find that instead of having 5 bullets like that, and the next one 5 bullets like that, you're going to have a group that's like this. But it's going to be exactly the same. And what it is they've got a slightly different recipe, and that's speed or ignition speed of the gunpowder going off, which equates to, you'll find something that likes that barrel twist in your barrel. All right, we're going to keep going because we've gotten way behind. We are already 2.5 hours into this. Guys, I think we should do Steve here every night. We could do, what do you think, 7 days a week? We could do the Steve.
Okay, I want to answer this guy, Matthew, real quick. Mr. Hard, 6.8 SBC2 is the best caliber ever. I don't know about that, depending on what your mission is.
Yeah.
If Mr. Holland check his 6.8 SBC forum messages, I sent him a prize. Okay, guys, I just joined 6.8 forum about 6 or 7, 8 months ago. I've been reading it since it got started, when I started the 6.8. I really don't get into social media and forums like that. My good friend Don Alexander would always send me stuff from 6.8 forum and said, "Hey, they're asking this or they're saying this." I'm trying to live my life. I went through a lot with the 6.8. I did a lot. I had a lot of companies screw me over. Shame on them. And
shame on them.
Shame on them. And you want to look at stuff like that and say God bless America. But then you got, people like that. I'm pretty sure these companies and the head people from companies like that, Mining Solution Plus, Precision Reflex, LWRC. I bet these people go to church every Sunday, and all the church members are shaking their hand. It's like they're like next to the level of appreciation as the pastor or the preacher. You know, and they're like, "Oh, you do such great things for the community, and you contribute this and this and that." They don't ever say, "Well, you know, we screwed some black guy over, you know, about 10 or 15 years ago and that's how we built this little gun empire we have."
On
you know, I remember Precision Reflex when they first started. They had this little building, it looked like a Quaker State oil place where you pull in. You had two stations to park your vehicle, and they had a little office. And any of you guys that are in outside of Dayton, Ohio, that are near Precision Reflex, I know you know what they have now. This huge fucking complex, you know. And at some point in some time, you have to say, man, how did they go from 0 to 100? 0 to 100 like that. How they did it? Steve Holland.
All right.
Okay, so
Fightosaurus threw down $10. Love your brother Steve. Always the best stream. Carl and crew. Proud to support TR. Jeff Bowman, good guy.
Good guy.
He threw down $6.80. My nephew has enlisted as an 11 bang bang. That's infantry, by the way.
Respect.
Wants to be a sniper. Would you give him some advice? Fort Benning in July should be super LOL. I actually did Fort Benning 11 Bravo in August, so I wasn't much better.
Fort Benning in July in a ghillie suit.
He enlists. He just enlisted.
Okay. I was about to say Fort Benning in July, August in a ghillie suit.
I always try to do
1,000-yard stomp.
Yeah, I always do sniper. It seemed like all my schools I did in the winter. I even did Robin Sage in the winter, but I did Fort Benning in the winter. I did Sodic in the winter. I did Halo School in the winter.
Here's my
even Anger School.
Here's my favorite one. My 8th stalk. I'm laying there, and they said, "Okay, shoot your second shot." I go, "Pow!" They go, "Identify." I identify, and the guy goes, I go, "Exercise over with. You're the last student." Everybody goes, I said, "Yeah, I won. I got a 10 on the stalk," and y'all couldn't get me. The guy goes, "Oh, we knew where you were. We just didn't want to come over there and all that poison ivy."
All right, other fly fishers threw down $1.99. We like the Steve Holland show. All right,
no. It's the Carl Erickson Kinetic Energy Show with Steve Holland visiting. Okay.
No, Steve, this has been all about you.
Here's the fly fishing. Heather. We got to fly fish. I mean, serious fly fish. We got to go down to the Gulf of Mexico.
No,
we got to go down to Gulfport.
Is coming down to the Patreon course with Phil W. in November. For those of you, my patrons, if you guys or any of the rest of y'all, if you want to know about the greatest class that's going to be taught this year, it is going to be the Patreon course. It is in November. It is the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's 5 days long, 4 days plus the 0 day. 0 day is all shooting from pistol, carbine, lever guns, shotguns, everything, all kinds of fun stuff. But we are doing tracking with Sue LaRue. We are doing all kinds of survival stuff with Randy. We're doing medical with Travis Hall. We're going to be doing land nav, map, and compass this year. We're going to be doing precision rifle. Including the Barrett 50 cal. We're going to be having some full auto guns there. We're going to have a bunch of shooting stations. Great stuff. Of course, Chad Mormon is going to be there doing escapology, picking locks and handcuffs, all that stuff. Where we're doing it is it's actually I don't have the name off the top of my head, but it's basically like a dude ranch, where it's like an old cowboy town where they do like weddings and stuff. We're renting the facility, and it's got a bunkhouse. It's got all these like the little buildings. You go like the front is like one lodge room. You go in the back, so they've got nice air conditioning. And it's going to be a great time. And anyways, like I said, it is 5 days in November, right after deer season here in Kentucky. Funny how that worked out. And it's going to be a great time. Sue LaRue is going to be there doing tracking. Lots of great stuff, guys. So anyways, we've already sold half the slots for it, and I haven't even put up where it's going to be at. So for my patrons, me and Susan are working out the final details, paying deposits, locking in discounts. So once we get that locked in, we'll let you guys start booking rooms and stuff. But literally, we already have, I think, 15 of 30 slots signed for. For the rest of y'all out there, this is only open for patrons. It's only open to patrons. Is that a sonic cleaner?
That's a sonic cleaner, brother.
Why are you bringing a sonic cleaner?
Just showed up today.
Okay.
Because I wanted to bring it in, and I'm gonna start working with it tomorrow.
Okay.
Get this whole thing in there.
A Hornady sonic cleaner.
Hornady sonic cleaner, and the reason I want to show this to everybody because I've always missed when I retired from fifth group, and we have some amazing equipment there.
Yes, we
and
did.
The ability to take a whole AR upper, and you know how it is. You
I
sit
know,
there
dude. Just
and
drop that thing in there.
You're
Let
running your rod through the barrel, and you're sitting there. And,
Is that one long enough to do a whole AR upper?
Whole AR upper.
Oh, that's not fair, dude. Because mine won't hold that. Mine's not that big.
Whole AR upper, and you know that when you're doing a bolt and you got the gas keys, and you're trying to make sure they're separate, the little hole, but behind that, I call that little funnel thing, and you got to scrape that carbon off the back of it, and it's like, man, oh my gosh, can I just dump this thing? The guy says, yeah, man, we got a tank right over there. I said, oh shit, I can dump the whole gun, hit it, set it. The difference is, and I got to find out because I actually got this from Steve Hornady, the man.
The man.
The man.
No joke.
Not
really.
not like, oh, here's our representative from, the Department of whatever. I contacted Steve Hornady. I said, I want to see.
You hear what he just said, guys? Remember, we're getting ready to do a live stream here in a couple weeks, literally from Ronnie Barrett's indoor shooting range called the Outpost in Nashville. And Ronnie Barrett's going to be there, hopefully. His son, Chris, for sure is going to be there. Ronnie's going to be there.
He's gonna be there.
How does Steve know everybody? And I, for those of you that are new and don't know who Steve is, legitimately, I didn't realize, and I've known Steve for years, but I went to SHOT Show one year, and I understand there are billions of dollars worth of guns underneath the roof at SHOT Show. I go in there, and Steve is wearing this badge that says Guest of Show. Guest of Show. Now, I'm like, who is that? No. So we walk around, and Steve can't go 100 meters without guys literally wanting to shake his hand, get pictures taken with him, slob on his knob and stuff. Here's Steve, take my firstborn. There's only one Guest of Show at SHOT Show. In that particular year, Steve, out of everyone in the gun industry, this is an active duty Special Forces Master Sergeant in charge of research and development for force modernization for 5th Special Forces Group, not even for Starfleet Command, just for 5th Group. But he made such an impression on the entire gun industry, the entire military machine in the middle of a war. We're already a decade in, that he got Guest of Show, literally like the VIP of all the VIPs. Steve Holland was the VIP. And I was like, you got into any party you wanted. Literally. They're like, you're with Steve Holland? Would you like to come to the Glock Ball? Literally, here's your invitation with gold leaf with your name spelt correctly. Because we got the list of everybody that came in with Steve. Am I wrong? I'm not exaggerating. You know I'm not exaggerating. So literally when he says Mr., because I'd have to call him Mr. When I say Mr. Hornady said, hey, here you go, Steve. Literally, they're just happy to know him, guys, because Steve is good people. Steve is good people. Guys, we're going to wrap this up for tonight. I know I just got another super chat in. Slobbing on his knob, seriously. That's Paul Miller having fun. All right, so Susan's got the cutaway, guys. I do have a last couple super chats. Go ahead, one last pitch, Steve.
Time setting, temperature setting, complete upper, and you don't have to have the whole bottle of solution. It's actually condensed, where you go like 2 cups to tap water. I prefer, distilled water.
Distilled water.
And then you can put a whole upper in there, set the time. Like, you got Mr. Kinetic Energy. He's got a whole lot of things going on right now. But it's Sunday, and he invited all his brothers over to shoot, and he hadn't cleaned his gun. So he takes his upper off. He's got one little basket. He can put his bolt carrier in. He can put his bolt in. Then he dropped the upper and the bottom side of the tank, hit the sonic vibrator, hit the temperature of the timer for 30 minutes, and go do all the other stuff Dana needs him to do.
Yep.
When he can spend that 30 minutes cleaning his gun like he should.
The one thing, though, don't let your optics touch it. The vibration's bad enough, but like you said, fill the fluid just enough. So in other words, like your pistols, you literally can clean the slide without filling up enough fluid so it gets
absolutely.
on anywhere your rubber seals and stuff.
Yeah, but anyway,
Dude, that's awesome.
I take Steve
coveting
Hornady and I said, Steve, I saw your video online. I think this is a great idea. I didn't know this product was out there. I've been looking for something like this forever since I left Fifth Group, because I used to go over there and say, hey, just drop my stuff in there and just turn it on and go about my business. At the end of the day, I come back, I get my stuff all, put it back together, spray it down, clean it up. I said, I can't do that anymore. And I saw this online. I said, I need one. I know Carl is going to love this thing. We got to have it on the Tactical Rifleman Show. And he texted me back and said, he actually said that there wasn't enough response from the customer base out there. And I think that's because a lot of people didn't know.
I didn't know they made one that would take a whole AR.
Take a whole upper. Because I know several of my buddies over here, like I said earlier, they pull up in a pickup truck and they open the back and they got these slide out drawers and they got like 6 tricked out ARs. And they're always like, hey man, how about helping me clean my AR? I'm like, dude, the key part of that, you said my AR.
Yep.
Not you, not me, Steve. I was AR, your AR. But when I saw this online, I did. I text Steve Hornady directly.
I'll tell you what. Ask Steve if we could get a like a TR discount, and like if he was to give us TR10, maybe he'd give Steve a cut. All right, and because we can sell some of these. For example, I want one. All right, New York City drummer 23's back. Marvin with 5 bones. Marvin, how you doing? Sup, Marvin. Building a 308. Would you recommend proof carbon fiber barrels or go with stainless steel version? Thanks, guys. Again, it depends what you want to do. Carbon fiber, understand, does not necessarily make the barrel lighter. Carbon fiber is actually pretty heavy. But proof barrels are awesome barrels. Again, it depends what you want to do with it. Matthew's here, $5. Mr. Holland, I am an FFL 0702, and I am building a different gun for production. I will send you one of the first ones. Just want to ask through email. Matthew, send me an email for any of you guys.
Hey, real quick, Mr. Hornady, this is Carl Erickson. We're on the show live. And I was showing your product, and he has some questions for you.
Mr. Hornet, are you on the phone?
Yeah.
That's some. First, I want to apologize. Steve has had a bit of tequila, and I honestly, you've never met me. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I did not know he was going to dial you, but we have been on a live stream for my YouTube channel for we're coming up on 3 hours now. So anyways, I just want to let you know he's been showing off your full-length Hornady your sonic cleaner that's actually long enough to put a full AR upper in it. I just wanted you to know that's badass. I've been running your other lock and load sonic cleaner forever. Shit, I got that thing over a decade ago. I think when you guys first came out with it. Again, I want to apologize. Steve, you should not be bothering the man.
The man.
I hope you are Pacific, at least. You're not East Coast, are you?
He's Nebraska.
No, I'm Central.
Central?
Is it Central?
Steve.
Coming right up on my curfew.
Do you think? No, honest, I apologize. Steve, no, he's going to hate me now.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Holy shit. You see, guys, it's Steve. I'm going to wrap this up. It's been a pleasure. No, Steve, you're not coming back. You're not. You're good. All right, guys. You wonder why nobody will call me back. Holy shit. Guys, I apologize. Steve has had a little bit too much to drink. Matthew, like I was saying, or for any of you guys that want to get in touch with Black Elvis here, if you want to get in touch with Steve Holland, I'm not giving out his email address. I'm not. What I will do, though, is if you guys send an email to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com, that's how you reach Tactical Rifleman. Okay, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. Put in there that you would, you would like to speak to Steve Holland. I will forward your email to Steve Holland, and then you can do whatever business you want to do with Steve Holland. Wow. That's pretty crazy. All right, guys. Okay. Susan had to bail. All right. I don't know if I had any super chats coming late. I would be able to move my mouse, but somebody sat a full sonic cleaner on my desk. That's pretty crazy. All right. So I'm going to do one last check here. Nope. I'm trying, guys. I am trying. I promise. I got a brat for men from salad dressing. Sorry, dude. Steve is gone already. All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. I know. I know you guys want Steve back. How about no? All right. Again, I want to give a big shout out to tonight's sponsor. Literally, guys, Euro Optics, thank you for putting up with us. I hope we didn't burn any bridges with anybody. For my YouTube and my Google moderators out there, I know you might have missed part of the show when you went upstairs to get Hot Pockets from your mom. But honestly, we did not touch any real firearms. We only touched firearm parts. So please don't delete this live stream. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us on a Monday night. I know we usually do Tuesday night. But yeah, I'm gone tomorrow night. I'm going to be out of town. So we knocked it out when we could. And you know the deal. It worked out good for us. So, yeah, good stuff, right? Good stuff indeed. And so I think that's all I got. Again, big thanks to Euro Optics. And, you know, it is what it is. I will see you guys back next Tuesday, though. We're going to have us a great live stream. It's going to be as good as this one. Maybe. It's going to be awesome. Or it won't. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
Incoming right there.